You sure?
No,
you're on.
Neither am I.
we're on. We're not sure if we're ready to go live. We're live.
You're on.
Here we are.
Okay, so then I have to text live now.
To who?
Somebody said she wanted to watch us, so
Oh.
there. Name's Catherine. She's in Ohio.
Oh.
So maybe she's just here now. I don't know.
Gonzo, we're late?
Is that,
Are we
is that
late?
like, is that like
It's
a
7:02.
romantic interest stuff?
No, it's a old friend. Somebody I knew many years ago.
Is she hot?
What's up, James? Corey, Jeremy. They're
I
saying
haven't seen her
hello.
like in 20 years.
Judlebug,
Was Catherine
George
from
Booney,
Ohio hot the last time you saw her?
Tim,
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
Robert,
Extremely
Catfish and Chris,
hot.
Zombie
Really?
Killer,
What's she look like?
Gavin,
Hot blonde.
Ford LTD.
Nice. I have one.
He says, good evening from Texas.
Good evening. I have a hot blonde right there. And
What's
then
up,
look, I
Corey
keep a
Fisher?
spare hot blonde in
Hey,
the back.
Fabar,
That's spare one.
Yeah.
Well, look at this girl.
FN Dave,
Everywhere I went with her, like every guy.
Yogurt,
Case
Full
they're
Nose
high,
Garage.
well, trying to buy her drinks, yeah, you know.
What's up, Barry?
You know.
Noah,
But you haven't seen her in 20 years.
Oh, I probably have. I probably started 5 or 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh, I
something
can
like
see
that.
her. She got like a full beard now.
She's got a lot of dogs.
Does she?
You'd like her because she's got dogs and dogs and dogs.
what's up,
I thought you
Brandon?
she's a hot blonde.
Rude Mopar Dude,
Hmm?
Jansen 50. Look, it's Bickerts. Isn't that nice?
What-
I don't even know what that means.
Okay, we're missing the show here because we're talking
What's
about
We
up,
are.
Chris?
We're talking about hot blondes.
Okay, so what's going on, everybody, tonight?
Well,
What's new, Tony?
Catherine, Buff is waiting for Catherine from Ohio, the hot blonde.
Everybody's saying hi to you, Tony.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Are we having fun yet?
Are we having fun? No,
Yeah.
not yet.
I think we are.
Hey, Uncle Tony from Saskatchewan, Canada. Wheelman 1320. What's your favorite muffler?
The purple horny.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always has been.
Always?
Always.
What's up, that Ford guy?
Why do you run a muffler?
That's why we have a bottle of it. That's why it sounds so good.
You know, that thing's kind of loud for a muffler.
That's, yeah, it's
Does
barely,
it have
it's barely
anything in
enough.
the muffler?
Not really. It's just straight through. It's a glass pack.
It's-
It acts more like a resonator than anything else. But
Fritzberg,
technically, it's got mufflers, so it's a street
Oh,
car.
I see,
Right.
okay.
Fritzberg says hello from the Netherlands.
What's going on, Fritz, in the Netherlands? How are you, my brother?
Old Corny's Garage says thoughts on the Black Widow 250 mufflers.
I don't know anything about them. Buff, I'm sure, knows everything
No,
about
I
them.
don't know anything about mufflers.
Didn't you write the Wikipedia page about the Black Widow mufflers?
What?
Never mind.
You know how original exhaust systems are? They kind of snake back and they go back by the bumper somewhere. My 64 Ford had exhaust pipes like that. And they kind of went over the rear end and then out, but they didn't have mufflers. They weren't that loud. They were mildly loud.
I got a lot of flashing going
But
on the
there's no
screen.
muffler.
Like Buff is like emitting some sort of force.
I'm emitting a
I
force.
told you, he's a shapeshifter. I knew it. You're
You
a
want to
reptilian.
change places
It
and
must-
you emit the force?
No,
Maybe
I
it's this
don't, I don't
one.
want to be the one flashing.
It must be the
emanating,
lighting, I don't
random
know.
Flashes of light.
Do we
It
have
is a little
lighting issue?
random. Well, it's only flashing on the camera. It's not flashing in real life.
Oh, that's, turn the camera.
Yeah, it's a
lower.
lighting issue.
That's
Or
right,
lift
don't
the
worry
camera
about
up
that.
or move the camera down.
Ask us questions, Uncle Kathy.
All right.
Oh, what's this look like?
Soda.
What's up, John?
I added some.
What's up, Barry?
doesn't look like
Reptilian infiltration, yeah.
Doesn't look bad.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
What's
Anthony-
everywhere?
Reptilians.
Anthony
Shapeshifters.
Burns sent $5.
Thank you, Anthony.
He
I'll put it
says,
towards fighting, the good fight.
he says, hey, Uncle Tony, just wanted to stop by and say hi. And I love the videos. Give me the motivation to work on all my projects. Hope all is well. Take care.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy.
Thank you,
Get out in the
Anthony.
shop and work on your stuff, man. Go, go,
Oh, you know,
go.
we have a whole week we're supposed to have sunny days every day.
Are we?
This coming week, yeah.
I did major work on the last like 3 days. All I did was grind and cut and weld and fabricate on the dart.
Buff is flashing like crazy. Switch places.
Why?
It
This
might
is-
be,
It could be me, it could
Off
be
the
the place.
reflective nature.
yeah, I don't know. Switch. Let me see.
All right,
switch,
Could just
switch,
be
switch,
his,
switch, switch.
the color of his sweatshirt.
Oh, it could be the color of my sweatshirt.
Yeah, who
Here,
knows?
you gotta take your stuff with
Let's
you.
see.
Okay.
Are you flashing, Tony? Now? Your
You
cup
got
is
your
flashing.
glasses.
So weird.
Can you see me yet?
Yeah, I can see you.
And you gotta take your coat.
Oh, it's all right, don't worry about it.
Just sit on it?
Yeah.
He has
don't fart
multiple
on it.
coats.
Don't, well, what if I
Yeah.
fart?
He's a big
Don't do
YouTube
it.
Don't
person.
fart on
Don't
your
fart on my jacket.
Well, maybe you should take your jacket.
Wow, this is like so second grade all of a sudden.
Ben Vanderbosch sent $5. He
Thank
says,
you.
"Hey from Fury Man Van."
Is he flashing?
His cup was flashing. It was the color, the light
I'm
color.
not-
You know what?
Flashing.
It's the fluorescent bulb is probably, I
And
bet
it's-
one of the
and
bulbs
it's-
on its way out.
And it's out of time with the,
Yeah.
with that.
What's up, Benjamin C? You have to send your last name to Uncle Crystal since you live in Canada. We can't send anything to you without your last name. She sent you a message.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Was it COVID?
Well, it's international mail, so we need a last name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because he wanted a T-shirt last week.
I never heard such crap.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they want a last name.
You know, sending stuff to Canada, it's like, it's like trying to penetrate the old like Iron Curtain, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah.
It's the reptilians.
Thank you, Benjamin.
It's gonna get worse too.
Dickie Farley says, "Roll up your windows."
Roll up your windows. So I spent the last couple of days cutting, grinding, welding, fabricating, making a general nuisance of myself on plain Z Dart. You see the little scar there. I cut the quarter panel open. so
Am I
it's in
supposed to
there.
show that?
I see that.
No, it's all right. Well, yeah, I guess you could. I mean,
I gotta move a lot of stuff.
no, then don't.
Well, now people are gonna be like,
But it's
"What
really
do you
nothing
do?"
to see. It's
Hang on.
This is what you should see. This feels good.
All right, I'm
this
just gonna
feels
pull the
good.
camera off of
yeah,
here.
that's right. That's the stone head for plain Z Dart.
All right,
See,
I'm getting up.
When I was sitting there, you're like, I couldn't notice all
Here's the
that, but
head.
now I see it.
Yeah.
There's the head.
Here, let's move
Nice.
let's
Rich, creamy head.
move this out of the way, and move this out of the way. So you can
Very
see
pretty, Tony.
the port job there.
Yeah,
And
I
here's-
got a lot of time on that.
Here's what he did on the dart.
Well, you can't really see what I
Can't
did
really
because
see
I
it.
welded the quarter panel back together again.
Yeah,
Okay, you
okay.
fixed what you was gonna see.
Yeah, so all the rotted part has been all cut out. I made new stuff out of angle iron and sheet steel and
I am not.
all sorts of things. So
I'm
I
going-
thought the car is healed and ready to run. So now we just gotta assemble the motor. I get the block pulled out, I gotta start cleaning out the block, get that ready to assemble. Get the head ready to assemble.
You got new valves for it, or is it?
I got the old valves,
Old
but
valves.
they've all been treated, you know, the back faced and everything, they're at the house. So,
How are the chickens, Tony?
oh, they're awesome. There's a little issue with the Australorps and the Well Summers and the Speckled Sussex. In that the Well Summers and the Speckled Sussex have taken over the main part of the roosting bar and won't let the Australorps on. So today, we added an actual second, like an extension to the roost so that now all of the birds can probably go up there without, you know, fighting each other to the death.
Do they fight each other?
I always find feathers, every place, like, you know.
No, they just molted, that's why.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was
All
from
right.
molting.
I think they're battling
What's
it out
up,
at
Roman?
night.
They're not battling it out. They're a little bossy.
So we have 2 videos coming up this week with our G-Tech Pro. The first is we're gonna do a before and after tune-up
Okay, with the
with the GT.
the car you've been trying to
Yeah,
use.
yeah, because we're gonna use that one just because it's consistent and it's slow enough that we can make quarter-mile runs and not bother anybody, right?
Right, it's
It's
already
slow,
got-
it's
it's already-
quiet, it's right.
So we're gonna get a baseline.
But it shows results, right?
Okay.
So we're gonna do the before and after tune-up on that. Probably, we may do that tomorrow. Depends how busy I am here. But we may do that tomorrow. And then we're gonna do our first carburetor comparison test. We're gonna do this
You blurry.
600 Summit carb, which I've actually used. And I tell you, it's not a bad carburetor. But this is a bone stock right out of the box 600 Summit, which is like the cheapest aftermarket carb you can buy. I think these things are like $209 new, right? Versus the Edelbrock 600, another bone stock carburetor.
Well, you
So we're
know-
gonna go back to back with those.
Engine Masters did a carburetor comparison,
Okay,
and that one came out the best.
did it really?
Yeah, and it was the cheapest.
See,
And they were stunned that that happened.
I can't afford the $5 a month. to watch
They got a
that.
deal right now that's $2 a.
Well, $2 is
Well,
a little more realistic. I
Yeah,
could
it's
probably
20.
do $2.
It's
Yeah, 'cause-
$23.95 for the year. So I did it.
You say they got better results out of that?
Then the Holly and
Have you seen the size of the boosters on this thing? It has like Dominator-sized boosters. They're huge.
I like that.
Yeah.
See, it looks a lot like the old Ford carburetors. That I used
Well,
to
it is the old Ford carburetor.
And I used to run those.
That's the Ford Holly.
Ford Holly.
Originally, it was an Autolite design, and then Holly started making them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, I know on the Ford, this was much flatter looking up here. It didn't have the.
I don't
You know,
have it
something
in
was
the
a little
camera.
different. Something was a little different,
What's
but
that?
it was.
I can't see it in the
It
shot.
looked just about like that.
Yeah. Well, it's got the one-piece removable top,
Yeah, right.
right?
The top looked a little different.
Yeah. But
But-
essentially, it's a Holly.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna do a back-to-back. The 600 Edelbrock, which is bone stock. I don't even know what jets are in the thing, but it's bone stock carburetor versus this, which I have no idea what jets are in this thing. Bone stock. And we're gonna go back-to-back and see which one is better, and then we'll do a 600, a straight-up 600 Holly, and see how that works. So that's this week. We're gonna be doing that this week.
Hey, Uncle Nate's driveway
Uncle Nate's
says, "What's up,
driveway?"
UT?"
It's what?
Is that the name of your channel?
Uncle Nate's driveway.
That's awesome. No, really, I love
What's
that.
up, Chris Greenaway?
I'm gonna subscribe to you. I don't care what you
Uncle
do.
Nate's
driveway.
driveway.
Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe to that.
Okay, we gotta write this down.
Yeah, you should subscribe to that right now too. Uncle Nate's driveway.
Smokey's Ghost says Engine Masters knows their stuff.
They do, well, I mean, everything's done there at West Tech, so it's like, yeah, how do you not know your stuff? That's like the premier, dyno engineering facility on the planet, really.
What's up, Willie? Fix it.
See, I saved that.
If I delete my ashtray, will my car jitter and stumble?
Ah,
Oh,
Delete the ashtray.
no, should be okay.
Put gauges in there.
Put a gauge in the ashtray?
After you take the ashtray out, there's a hole.
Okay.
Put gauges in that hole.
What do
Make
you
a little aluminum plate.
Where do you put your cigarette?
Cigarette? I forget, you smoke.
Well, yeah.
You can't eliminate your ashtray.
I actually, yesterday or a couple of days ago, I put a power port in bottle rockets, and a bottle rocket actually has a functional cigarette lighter, so that I could plug the G-Tech in. That was the other thing.
Thank you. Thanks, Benjamin.
We were gonna try to do some 60 and 330 footers with the car yesterday, but the weather here has been like spotty and rainy and stuff like that, so it'll be another couple of days. But that's another thing we'll be doing this week coming up, is we're gonna take bottle rocket, we're gonna, so it's a little shaky to go far, but what we'll do is we'll put the G-Tech on it, and we'll put it out here, and do some 60 footers and some 330s, and get some short time numbers, and we're gonna make our own starting line. I'm probably gonna end up buying a bottle of stripper glitter. That's the new thing. It seems to like work. Yeah, it's traction compound.
Okay.
So I'm gonna buy a bottle of stripper glitter, but before we do that, I'm gonna use Dr. Pepper, which is the old school method of making yourself a starting line. So we're gonna take, 5 or 6 Dr. Peppers, big Dr. Peppers, 2 liters, and we're gonna pour them out in the shape of a starting line and let them sit and absorb the sun and everything for a couple of days, and have a nice sticky pad.
Nice sticky, sugary.
So that's another great comparison. Dr. Pepper versus stripper glitter.
Good Port dude wants to know, where's the Belvedere?
At the house.
He's yelling.
It's at the house.
We're still what?
The Belvedere.
Oh, the hell with you.
Yeah, it's at the house. When it's not time for that car yet.
Good day from Adelaide. What's up, Harry, Australia? Pat and Jess Cole. I love this channel. I live for cars from when I wake up till I go to sleep.
Join the club, man. I think we all pretty much have that in common.
Let's see. Both won't work.
What won't work?
The stripper glitter and the
And
Dr. Pepper.
Well, we'll do 2 different pads.
Oh, you're not mixing them, you're using 2 different.
Oh yeah,
pads.
no, we'll do Dr. Pepper first, because that's old school. That goes back to the 70s. We're gonna do the Dr. Pepper starting line, and then we'll do a glitter stripper starting line. We'll see which one gets the best 60s.
It's an or, not an and.
What's that?
Or, not an and.
Right.
That can be really important.
Yes.
Jason T wants to know, hey, Uncle Tony, is it normal for vacuum to drop when you put an e-body Cuda in gear?
If RPM drops substantially enough, yeah, right?
I don't understand the question.
His vacuum is dropping when he puts it in gear.
Oh, in gear.
Yeah, I mean, is it dropping substantially? I don't know. I'm trying to picture that. I'm trying to picture a vacuum gauge. So engine's running, vacuum gauge is reading whatever it's reading, and you put it in gear. What does it do? Does it? If it changes, it's gonna be very, very slight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Wilburn says, what day are you doing Dr. Pepper? My blood type is Dr. Pepper.
You're one of those guys.
I can't stand that
I don't know
stuff. I don't know how
how you
anybody drinks it.
You see this? You know, I always mix different stuff in here. This is mostly Dr. Pepper right now, even though it says Diet
Coke, yeah. Oh, I can't drink. Dr. Pepper and Mountain Dew are two things I can't
You know,
drink.
the store I go to had 2-liter Dr. Peppers on sale, like 90-something cents. Man, I just grabbed them all. Not gonna let that deal go away.
What's up, Jeff in Buffalo?
Well, Dr. Pepper is the old school way of making the street sticky.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It must have been a nightmare to get all the Mexican red tape handled to have your own drag strip, UT.
Yeah, it's not easy getting across the border, you know. Well, we have to go over the wall.
You do it so quickly.
Yeah. We have to go over the wall. Not easy, not easy. But we have the technology.
Do we?
Yeah, we obviously, because we've gone to Mexico a couple of times.
What's up, Bodgemeister? He says hi from the United Kingdom.
What's going on, man?
Let's see.
I think they're locking those. You guys getting locked down again?
I don't know.
You need to overthrow that government.
Tony.
Why? Well, it's the UK. We can't get in trouble for that. You guys need to overthrow that government. You're the Queen's a lizard. Just saying. I'm just saying. Just
You
saying.
know, I'm an old man.
Yeah.
And she
Oh
was
my
queen
goodness.
before I was born.
Yeah, I know.
She's very
Holy
old.
crap.
Yeah, they don't age. They just, you know, they reach a certain point and they just molt. You know, that's it.
Bodgemeister says also true.
I know it's true. I know it's true.
Don't mess with the queen.
It's the royal family. Some people really like them.
I was in England for a while. And this guy there, I knew, had 64 Ford. And he was like an American, but he wasn't. He was Brit. But he had this 427 Ford. And he was telling me about something he's going to do to it. And I looked at him and he goes, yeah, I know. Just more portraits of the queen. You know, they're pound notes. It's like, oh, yeah, more portraits of the queen.
Chris says, UTG, I'm having issues with the shifter in my Firebird automatic transmission. Goes through the gears with no slapstick. So what should I check first?
Is it stock shifter? There's a little part or a little pawl in there.
Yeah, the detent is on the shifter
Probably
itself.
busted off or
I
something.
imagine you got a console around it, just pop the top of the console off and then just work the shifter back and forth and see what's supposed to move. You know, I mean, I can't give you an exact, you know, but that's the first place I would look.
Ron's Garage says, hello from Connecticut. What's up, Ron?
What's going on?
Mike Johnson sent $20.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks for the GLHS video. Sent a long comment of my days at Roush testing those.
I haven't.
He
looked at
hasn't
the
gotten to those
I haven't
comments
gotten
yet.
to the comments. I've been busy. I've been here working.
He's gonna check them.
Yeah.
We will check them. Thank you.
I do love those cars though.
Which cars are those?
The Omni and the Charger GLHs.
Oh.
The GLHs.
Oh, from your last video.
Yeah.
I
Well, like I
had
said
an
in the
Omni.
video, right?
I had an Omni for a while.
It's like, where do you get parts? See, like, okay, all my stuff, right, is like readily available parts, stuff that, like my cars, if I need a wheel cylinder, let's just say, for a 68 Dart or a 72 Coronet, I can go to
You
auto
can
parts
go get
store.
it.
Bam, it's there, like they got them on the shelf.
Yeah,
I went,
amazing.
I needed a wheel cylinder for my 64, the Mrs. Landy, right? Went to the parts store, they got it sitting on the shelf at Advanced Auto Parts. You know, okay, so, but when you start getting into like those Omnis and Horizons, they're just, I mean, what do you do when you need a part? You know, let's just say, you know, you toss a rod.
There's no
You can't
market
just go
for
to the
it.
junkyard
But
and go pluck a 2.2 or a 2.5 out of,
I think they fit in that group of cars that was the, what do they call them, the cash for clunkers cars?
yeah.
And they
yeah, a
all
lot of them,
disappeared. I was in the
Yeah.
automotive, you know, the used car business at the time. It destroyed that business. All the used cars just dried up, you know,
But
gone.
I'm telling you, the GLHS Omni, right?
Yeah.
Not so much the Charger, but the Omni is probably, I'm gonna say, one of my top 5 favorite cars
Really?
of all time. Absolutely. Every time I look at one of those things, I'm like, you know, but And they pop up for sale every once in a while, but I'm not gonna buy one. Because, you puke this, you break that, you wanna try, and you can't. It's like, you crack a windshield on it, let's say. Where the hell do you get a glass for the thing?
J.R. Jacobs wants to know, does an externally balanced engine use a different torque converter than an internally balanced one?
It depends on the engine. There's always gonna be an external weight. The torque converter is gonna be the same, but it'll have a weight added to it.
You did a video on how to do that, didn't you? How to put the,
Yeah, I did.
or you
actually.
taught you, I don't know if you, how to do it, but you showed where it was. And
We did a video, I don't remember what video that was.
it was a while ago.
Yeah, it'll have on a Chrysler, it'll have a weight added to it. On a GM car, you use a different balanced flywheel.
Chris Parson says, hi Tony, I'm looking for my first Mopar in the UK. I'm after a satellite, Coronet, or Dart. Must be a 4-door, not Mint. We're on lockdown till December 2nd. What
Oh.
sort of money for the above as a 318 non-perfect car?
What sort of money?
Yeah.
Oh man, I could not price that for you over in the UK. I have no idea.
Well,
You
I
know,
guess
I
to
didn't
ship
s-
it?
I didn't see anything like that when I was there. You know what I saw there was Chrysler? There's PT Cruisers everywhere. That was 10 years ago.
No, I mean, okay, so you're talking about buying one here in the States and then shipping it over?
Oh, maybe
I
that's
don't
what
know.
it means.
Yeah, maybe that's what he means. I
Because
don't
the
know.
prices of, you can get really good deals on 4-door cars, which is why I buy 4-door cars. I love 4-door cars. I don't want to get into that. I was going to start ranting on, I have no time for people who can't appreciate a 4-door car.
Be nice.
I'm going to be nice.
Not everybody likes 4-doors.
They don't have to like them, but don't down them. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody doesn't think the same.
I like 2-door cars much better, but there's nothing wrong with a 4-door car. I've had a lot of them.
I never, when I look at a car, it's like literally, and I'm not making this up, literally, the last thing I take into consideration is how many doors it has.
What's up, Mopar Den? I don't know. I do prefer 2 doors. Like if I'm looking at a 67 Coronet or Satellite, I prefer
Okay, well,
a 2-door over a
All
4-door.
right, specifically
I
because
don't want a
you're after that
4-door.
roof.
Yeah,
You're
that's
after
what
that
makes the
roof line.
car.
Yeah, I agree with that, but
So
that has nothing
am
to
I,
do with the door count.
because
per
I
se.
don't like 4 doors in those cars, does that mean I'm a bad person?
No,
No?
no, you like that roof line.
I love the roof line,
The
yeah.
number of doors is irrelevant, you're just after that roof line. So that's okay, but I mean, we have 2-door cars, we have 4-door cars, do you really notice any difference between them?
Do I have a preference? I
Like,
do prefer the
prefer
2
two.
doors. I
Okay.
do. They
Yes, yeah.
just have a nicer body
Once you're
line.
driving down the road,
Yeah, it means nothing to me.
No, I mean, it doesn't mean that I hate the car, but I think that aesthetically, the body line is nicer.
Depends on the car.
You know that I'm right.
Uh,
see, when you're a guy and a woman says,
You know that I'm
this is
right.
right, you have one
Well,
choice.
I also
Yeah, you're right.
No, it depends on the car. It depends on the car.
Like, I don't mind that Mrs. Landy is 4 doors.
Well, there you go, exactly. Like Mrs. Landy and that 66 we pick up are both 4.
Yeah, I don't mind that they're
Mrs.
4
Landy
doors.
is a beautiful car
She is.
in a rough sort of way, but everything about that car just, so it's like, but like I says, to me, I never take the number of doors into consideration.
Let's see. Why Uncle Crystal? Why Uncle and Girl?
She's a girl.
Everyone is an uncle.
Wait a minute.
Except me.
Your uncle
I'm just
Buff.
a buff Ocampo. I've already have too many syllables.
No, wait a second now. I mean, I feel it as a modern, woke, progressive,
Oh, brother.
male, that I should not notice whether somebody is a male or a female.
Oh, I see. Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? So I just automatically, assume that she's a fellow uncle. What?
I'm just laughing. Any updates on the Mitsubishi?
The
Mitsubishi.
block is sitting there.
It's right there, yeah.
I haven't talked to Kiwi. I got everything to put the short block together. I'm trying to get through my stuff so my head is clear and putting this dart back together again where it's not wadded in half anymore. That was a big deal to me. So now that I've got that out of the way, I can start.
So you're rolling on this right now, so you're into it.
Oh, yeah, I'm very into the dart.
Yeah.
But in order to have that car ready to go for, let's say this spring, I got a lot of work to do. But the structural stuff was important to me.
And you got it done.
I got it done.
Aunt Tony needs a Project Gremlin.
It's
Funny.
hot in here.
It's warm because you put that thing on.
Well, yeah, see?
Just roll one up like, just a window. I'm thinking about rolling
Good
up the
evening,
windows.
Doug.
Just roll the door up a little.
Guys, if you need a heater, I'm not sponsored by these people, right? I'm not sponsored by anybody.
Sponsored by anyone.
Okay? I mean, Nitrous Express gave me some stuff, so I
Yeah.
left their sticker up, right? But I'm not sponsored by anybody. But if you need a cheap, I mean, it's not really cheap, but it's cheap, heater, I picked up one of these Mr. Heater Torpedo.
Am I gonna have to turn
No,
that?
that's okay.
Okay.
That's right. It's a Mr. Heater Torpedo heater. It's a little one, right? It has like a 9-gallon tank. This thing works like a bastard. Runs on anything, kerosene, diesel. You throw a little bit of motor oil in there, or one on that too, and yeah, heats this place like nice and toasty in like 15 or 20 minutes.
When I came in here, it was too warm.
Yeah,
That thing was going.
It was warm in here, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cold
it's
outside.
still warm in here.
Douglas says, greetings from Regina, Canada.
Greetings.
I like four-door cars
Regina.
that, oh, Regina? It's not Regina? I'm
You've
sorry.
got a dirty mind, buff.
I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it correctly. I'm American.
American.
I
We're
like
Americans.
I like four-door cars that look like two-door shape but has four doors, like the 58 Olds, 57 Buick, 58 Coronet.
Yeah, yeah. Those old Coronets, or was it the 56s and earliest, they look the same front to back. Like you can't really, when you look at the profile, you can't tell if the car's coming or going. You know what I'm talking about?
I think they were earlier than that, because 56 had fins on the back. That really looks silly.
55 and earlier.
55 and earlier, yeah.
Has Bottle Rocket ever been on nitrous?
No, it has not.
Not
Bottle
yet.
Rocket has never been, I've got 3 passes on the car. And the third pass, it just drove right through the clutch. So, no, we haven't sprayed it yet.
John Wilburn says, I'll be down Tuesday for the transmission.
John, I'll bring it to you. You don't have to come down here. I can road trip that thing out to you.
He wants to come here for our good weatherness.
He wants to steal the painting.
Does he?
I think that's what he wants. He wants to try and rip off the painting when we're not looking
It's possible.
and put it in his
It's
car and
possible.
drive it back to Virginia. What's up, Zero?
Zero, what's going on, brother man?
Zero.
John, why don't you wait until, if you're gonna come here, why don't you wait until Sunday and then come and do the live next Sunday?
Yeah, you can hold this seat down.
You and Buff can wrestle.
Wrestle. Wrestle.
Get you right up here on the table.
Yeah.
Smokey Ghost says, you better vent that place because that heater can kill you.
Oh, the door was what? The roll-up
No, I
door
think-
was
yeah, I think
wide
it was
open,
open.
Yeah.
and it was still warm in here. No, we're not gonna get sophisticated from that.
No, seriously,
It's
it was like,
asphyxiated.
that's $300 I ever spent. It's like, yeah, I've had torpedo heaters in the past, but this thing over here really works well.
Crayon Fish 2 says, could too much base advance be why my idle mixer screws barely have a response? I was playing in 12 to 14.
No,
Apparently FSM called for 6.
no, your base timing has nothing to do with the response from the item mixer screws. You either have a vacuum leak, or you've got a clog in the idle circuitry, or a low-speed circuitry in the carburetor. If it's an Edelbrock or an AFB ABS type of carburetor, then it's in the booster. Take the primary booster out and run a piece of wire up through those old passages that are in that booster, clear it right out.
Gordon Down says, I'm working on an 86 Diplomat, gonna be my daily driver.
Nice.
Nice.
Those cars make great daily drivers. We had, didn't Offspring John have a 4-door Volare for a while?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, the FMJ
Our
cars.
offspring.
Yeah,
I like Volaris, except for that cross.
You mean our son?
yeah,
Our
whatever.
son had one.
Yeah. But, no, the FMJ bodies, they make awesome daily drivers. They hit the road perfect.
Bodgemeister says, will I see a big gain in power by fitting KB high compression pistons to my low compression 360 LA?
Not likely. It's, the rule of thumb is 4% for every 1 point of compression. So if you're making 100 horsepower at 8 to 1, and you go to 9 to 1, you should be making approximately 104 horsepower. Compression I'm not gonna say the compression is overrated, but getting the air in and out is far more important.
Ari's picturing some cat burglar work on John's part. Agreed, Ari. Let's see. Now you'll have to watch him. Let's see.
You're staring at my head.
Lots of Canadians in here.
Yeah.
Always.
I did a nice job on that, right?
Oh, you looking at the head again?
I am, I'm just kind of checking it out.
Do
Now
I
that
need
I
to
have a
move the
slant
camera?
six.
That's right, Buff has a slant six. That's a
Nice.
pretty thing, isn't it?
It's
Yes.
beautiful, Tony.
Yeah. I carved on that thing for days.
You're just staring at it. In silence.
It's hard not to stare at that. It says somebody did a lot of nice work to
I'm
it.
having a flashback
Somebody?
to it. Somebody, it was me. You see these ports? Look at these
Yeah.
ports.
Okay, now you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
move the
was looking
camera.
at the ports.
Come on. Look how beautiful that is. Look at that.
I'm struggling
Well, what's
here.
really cool is you can see it in here, you can see it there.
Yeah,
Can you see it, guys?
there's a lot of porting done to those things. That thing.
Is it pretty?
You smoothed everything out.
Yeah. As much as I could, see, like over here, there was nothing I could do about, see, like feel that right
I
there.
can't get the camera over there on the
I know you
tripod.
can't get that. There was nothing I could do about that because of the way the casting was laid out. This part of the bowl
Yeah.
was undercut to the seat. So I went as good as I could. You know, I went right actually into the seat to clear that up, but it's still there. You know what I mean? You can only work with what you got to work with.
Yeah.
Which is why modern heads are so nice.
I think you did a nice job tonight.
You know, like this right here is exactly why, if you have the option to go, let's say, a modern, you know, or aftermarket cylinder, this right here is the exact reason why you want to do that, because you won't run into problems like that. But on a factory casting, the way they put the molds together, you know,
Yeah.
it's, you know, some drunk 58-year-old on the fourth shift, you know, put this together and like, pour the cast on, and then this is what you end up with. But, you know, I think this head's gonna make some decent power. I hope it's gonna make some decent power.
There's a weld over here.
Yeah, that's where I cut through a water jacket.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I did that in a couple of places.
What did you do?
I ground through the water
Oh.
jackets externally on both the front and the back.
Oh,
of the
you were
head.
pulling weight off.
I was
of it.
pulling weight off.
Oh, okay, and you
Oh,
get
Tony.
too much weight off of it.
Yeah, so I
That's
welded,
terrible.
I welded a patch over it, but I also filled that section with epoxy.
Totally.
So it should be okay. You know, let's put it this way, if I put it on the car and it springs a leak, I won't be shocked.
What is this?
This is the water pump bypass.
And do I need to show that?
Oh, and you just have it plugged.
I plugged it so I don't have to have that piece of hose there.
You don't want that.
I don't want the bypass,
Really?
yes.
So compression is more of an efficiency thing?
Yes, like I said, compression is good. I'm not saying the compression isn't good, but in terms of making power, getting the air in and out, and synchronizing the intake, the cam, the cylinder heads, and the exhaust, so that it all flows cohesively, is definitely where you want to spend your money before you spend any time or energy creating compression.
Did you weigh this before and after?
I did. I took 8 pounds of cast iron out of that head.
Wow.
Yeah.
Take that head to a welding shop and have them put a proper weld on it to seal it up.
No, it should be okay. It should be. I mean, I've done this before. You know, where I'll going through, I'll weld it. The weld will always have porosity to it, always. Unless, yeah, you do what you're talking about.
Yeah, preheat and all that kind of stuff.
You gotta go through a preheat and all that shit. So, I mean, I've done this before, and I'll weld it, and then I'll pour epoxy in from the inside and let it sit overnight. Actually, when I did this one, let me see here, I got it on this side. Why not? You're up here.
Do I need to move?
You can move a little bit.
I can move a little bit. Okay. What do you do?
So,
Okay, hang on.
did I do it on this side? No, it's on that side.
Oh.
Okay,
All right, I'm coming around.
all right.
It's hard to get through here. I'm attached to a big tripod.
You are attached to a big tripod.
I'm trying to move. Okay.
So I ground through this. There was a bolt boss here. It's a big hunk of cast iron. So I cut the cast iron off, and then it got very, very thin here. So what I did was I took a piece of steel, and I welded it here, okay? And then what I did was, I mixed up epoxy. So I tilted the head like this, like so, and I used a funnel, and I poured the epoxy down into here so that it all settled into this area. And then I took a MAP gas torch, and I heated this whole area with the epoxy in there. You know, I'd say I held the torch here, I heated this area probably for a good 15 or 20 minutes to make sure that the epoxy thinned got super thin and flowed into any open porous areas that are here. So I'm confident this should be okay, but if it leaks, it leaks, and I'll do something else. But I guess I've done this dozens of times and I never had a problem.
Geez, Tony, is your ultra welding ego Professor Bubblegum? It looks like bubblegum.
It's cast iron, for Christ's sake.
Louis Barsley, Chris.
No, I don't think that.
Okay.
All right, I'm trying to find my way back.
Yeah, you're having radiator shops. I know about all
It's
these
really
things
tight
people
here.
put in
Hang on.
radiators.
Yeah.
You know the worst thing? Chewing tobacco. Can't get it back out. Stops leaking. It stops everything.
Well, I guess by heating the epoxy and making it water thin,
Oh, I
it flows into any possible, porous areas, and then
Right.
you'll be fine.
Right.
And it's a drag-only head. The thing is never going to see anything but a drag strip. If I got to fill it completely, then I'll do that.
Uncle Nate's driveway.
Don't go
wants
late,
to know.
I won't even that channel.
UT, can you explain compression for dummies? Like, for example, what did Mopar do to lower compression on existing engine designs after 72?
Well, they did this. they dished the piston. So this is a 71. This is a 71 383, and actually this is the same as the earlier ones also. On the higher compression motors, they just dished the piston. They took some combustion chamber CC out this way. That's what Chrysler did. On the small block motors, they just, there's no dish on the small block motor. They just drop the piston in the hole.
Juan G wants to know, is JB Weld okay in an intake manifold?
Yes.
Let's see. Darren Wyatt says, hey UT, how uncommon is a factory 446 pack car after 1970, in particular a 72 Charger?
There's one 72 Charger and two 72 Roadrunners that are known of that actually got through. The cars were ordered early. They were ordered, like, I guess, in September of 71, and they were built in October of 71, and then that was it. So I guess I'm pretty sure it's one Charger and two Roadrunners are the only known 72 446 pack cars. And then there's the one that Buff has.
Yeah, right. I don't have anything with multiple carbs anymore.
What's with the uncle for everyone? What is the meaning? There's no meaning. It's just a joke.
Just silly.
It's just a thing.
Yeah, it's just a thing. It has no meaning at all.
Yeah, don't read too much into stuff.
Yeah. We're not like the Illuminati or anything.
Oh, we are kind of. We're our own Illuminati. We have our initiation, rituals.
Pranks?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
And I think do we still have the giant owl in the back?
No.
No? We got rid of that?
You're an owl?
No.
Yeah, an owl.
What, a big fiberglass owl or something?
Yeah, giant fiberglass owl. Yeah.
No, we don't.
We had our miniature bohemian grove going on.
I know you got a hot blonde back there.
Yeah, keep a hot blonde.
Why
I
wasn't
always,
she
there's
was
always
here
a
last
spare
week.
hot blonde here, and there she is right there.
Your head and the helmet.
Chad wants to know, what are the purpose of angle plug heads? Does it affect the type of headers needed?
Yes, it does. The benefit to an angle plug head is that it actually puts the plug in an advantageous position in relation to the quench area of the head. Some of them need special headers, some of them don't. Like, all small block Mopars are angle plug heads. The big block Mopars, that was a modification that was popular for a little while. Oh God, who did somebody used to produce a head where They'd filled the original plug hole.
Drill and tap it again.
Yeah, they filled the original plug hole and they drilled and tapped on an angle, and I'm trying to remember who was producing those.
They must have really thought it was worth something. That's a lot of work.
It is worth something. Well, remember, on the big block Mopar, the plug is just straight on dead in just like a wasteland part of the combustion chamber. It's one of the downfalls of that particular engine.
What was that?
Yeah, it's like,
That's the owl.
The owl.
They're setting up the owl.
Uncle
We're gonna
No,
have rituals tonight. They have to-
Uncle No Identity says, "Hi UTG gang. I'm tuning in later than usual. Also, I take my driver's test tomorrow.
Oh, congratulations.
Good luck.
Yeah,
Good luck on your
Good luck.
driver's test."
I failed. Did you fail?
I failed
no.
3 times.
You know what? I was in California, and they give you 100 points, and then the guy sitting right next to you subtracts points as you go along.
Yeah.
You get down below 70, you fail. So I'm going along in 25 mile an hour zone. I'm going just under 25, you know. And some guy jaywalks in front of me, out a little ways. So I slow down and stop and let him cross the street, and then I go. We get back, and the guy's sitting there. He isn't saying anything. I was like, man, did I pass? Finally he goes, you did real well, except when that guy crossed in front of you, you should have rolled your window down and signaled for a stop. And he took 1 point off for that. So,
I failed.
like anybody sticks their arm out the window and
When I took my road test, I was already a full-time mechanic for like 2 years. So like, I've been driving the whole time. So when it came to take a road test, it was like I just got in the car, started it up, and drove it around, and it's like, okay, here, I should be done, right? And he failed me for like everything you could possibly fail somebody for.
No, I failed twice and got it on the 3rd try.
I remember that, yeah,
Yeah, New York City.
yeah.
I can parallel park great though now. Now I don't need to.
When I was 16, I worked at Eddie's Amico on Hanlon Boulevard on Staten Island. And we used to do the service on the cars for the 123rd precinct in Tottenville. This was old school Staten Island, like the South Shore, like Tottenville part of it was like cut off from the rest of the city. It was its own special little place.
That's where the rednecks lived.
Yeah, and I used to,
And they were mean.
I used to go pick up, I was 16,
Yeah.
no license or anything, and I was driving the cop cars, the marked cars, from the 123rd precinct to Eddie's Amico to do the service.
No
on it,
driver's
and just driving them back.
Rules were a little more lax then.
How old do you have to be in New York to get a driver's license?
18,
I don't even know, 17, 18?
18.
Oh,
No,
really?
it's 17. 17.
No, only if you did driver's ed in high school. You can get
See,
it
I
at
know my
17. I
father
had to
grew
wait
up
till
there.
18.
He didn't have a driver's license in high school. When he went in the Navy, he had to learn to drive. He was 17. And he
Yeah,
went-
you only got it if you did driver's ed.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
when I on my birthday, when they were supposed to send me my license, they sent me a notice saying that I had been revoked for unpaid tickets because I had,
Too many tickets
I had
before you got
a
your license.
yeah. It was
You know,
the
this is
honor-
New York.
Back then, it was like the honor system. There were no computers or anything in the cars. They'd ask you what your name was. Do you tell them what your name was? They'd write you up a ticket. And then instead of, it's like I was waiting for my license to come in the mail, and instead of the license coming in the mail, I got a notice saying I had been revoked. And it was a list of all of the tickets that I owed.
Oh, I hate it now. There's cameras and computers and all that. They can find you. Do you ever get these things from Google once a month that tells you this is your Google Maps report for a month?
Yeah, yeah.
And it shows me sitting here. It shows me out on the freeway when I got
I
stuck.
want to throw my
There I
phone in the
was.
river.
It shows me over at the racetrack station.
Okay, true story.
I'm amazed.
True story. This happened to me this week. Like maybe it was on Tuesday. So help me, okay? No, I've never in my life searched for used engines or rebuilt engines on the internet. Okay. I go to the parts store. I've got my phone on me. Usually I leave my phone in the car. Okay. I've got my phone in my pocket. It's off. I order whatever I order, and it was Jake, my friend Jake, who works at the auto parts store, sells me the best substandard parts you could imagine. He's all like, he's pissed off, right?
Lifters.
And so what's the matter? So he says, I ordered a reman for this guy, you know, from Jasper, whatever it was, and evidently, you know, they don't have any cores, and it's gonna be this, they're already taking a deposit, blah, 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 and he's going back and forth, okay? I come back here, right? And before, like I said, I have my phone in my pocket. And before I get settled into working, I said, well, let me just check up on the news of the world. And I turn it on, and the very first thing that comes up on Google is an ad for Jasper rebuilt engines.
I'm throwing my phone in the river.
The
We can't
phone?
do any more lives.
Even with the phone off, that thing is listening to your conversations. It's listening for keywords, putting them together, and then it sends you the advertising, even with the damn thing off in your pocket.
Anthony Perna, Uncle Tony, I have a 75 DeVille 500 motor with 70,000 on it. The carb was wrong when I bought it. I got a rebuilt 75 Quadrajet offline, runs rich. I unscrew the mixer screws. The vacuum keeps climbing. Why?
The vacuum will climb as the motor leans out and the RPM comes up. If it's idling rich, pop the thing, take it off, and look at the very, I don't have a Quadrajet here, but, I can show you on this. Right? Pop the carburetor off, okay? And you'll see it's got the two small primary barrels and it's got the two big secondary barrels. Well, right in between here are two lead plugs. They're called Weld plugs. And those things will leak. When they leak, you'll get an uncontrolled, fuel, rich condition. So no matter what you do to the idle mixture screws, it's always going to run fat. So clean those up really, really good, and then throw some JB Weld over them, and then let it sit overnight upside down, and then put it back on the car, and you should be okay.
Remember, it wishes the audio was better.
I wish the other way was better too.
We should try and use a different camera to do this. I don't know.
I think he's picking up the guy across. The
Yeah,
guy
making
across from us
noise.
is
Yeah,
working
they're
right
making
now.
noise.
He's got a grinder going or something.
He's got a grinder going.
Torgo63 says the trick you used to do on Long Island was to say that you didn't have your insurance card when you got pulled over. You'd only get a ticket for that, as it was a $450 fine back then.
Yeah, well, I got insurance tickets up the wazoo.
The
Are you
wazoo.
kidding me? I had,
What's up, Frank?
yeah, every time I turned around, there was another insurance ticket. You want to go meet the psycho across the way?
I have to put my coat on. It's cold out.
God.
All right.
Yeah, he's busy. He's doing his thing. Can you do a piece on how to tell a good 340 block? What to look for?
They're all good. There's no bad ones. I'm not saying that you won't find a bad 340 block, but there's no difference in the years of the castings. From 68 to 73, they're all good blocks.
What happens to them? What's a place to look? Is there anything that happens to many of them?
Common defects,
The common defects, that's what I mean. That somebody might look for that.
on a small block. No, I can't think of any common defects. Like, some engines you'll find it, they'll always crack here, or they'll
Yep.
always. No, I can't think of anything like that on any of the Mopar small blocks. On the blocks, some of the heads are known for cracking, like some of the early 202 heads were known for cracking between the seats. Like the Magnum heads are known for cracking between the seats. But they're inconsequential. You can run them with the cracks, they don't leak water, they
Really?
don't spread in. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah, the Ford will leak water in there.
Yeah, Ford will leak water. but
Yeah,
no.
429 Ford, I had that problem.
Did I
Then
miss something?
you got coolant in them.
No,
Bunch of
there's
change.
no water jacket anywhere near, there's so much
Yeah.
metal between,
I'm scrolling up. I don't know if I missed something.
oh no.
What's up, Chris Narrow? See, I'm way behind.
No Baron yet.
No Baron.
Baron called me during the week.
Is he okay?
He's okay.
All right.
He left. I told him he
Baron-
thought he was probably in Philadelphia.
Yeah, he's on his way to
Count-
Pennsylvania right
count-
now to count ballots.
He says, no, don't worry, everything's okay. He said he'd been busy because he's studying and doing whatever he does.
Okay, I
His
was just
stripper girlfriend was there.
trying to see if I missed
He took me for a ride in his money
a super
car.
chat. He took you for a ride?
A virtual ride.
A virtual
Yeah, like
ride.
this, holding his phone up.
Nice.
And then he goes, I can't do this, and he turned it off. And
It's not that
he
easy.
hung up on me. That was that. But he's doing it.
He's erratic. I like that about him.
Oh, he says he's gonna come here in December now?
Is he?
Yeah, I think he's gonna come early.
Nice.
December or January.
He's
and then
moving
gonna go
here
back.
in December?
No,
Oh,
no,
he's
he's
just
gonna go back
visiting.
and then he's gonna move here and whenever it was he's supposed to move here.
Everybody from California is going here.
Well, as long as they don't
No.
vote like they did in California.
No.
No offense, guys.
we're,
No offense, Californians.
we're setting up a Cannons for Californians fund.
See, I was from California for 30 years, but I left because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't be in business
What's up,
there.
Vince?
I couldn't be in business there.
Yeah,
I was just trading money. I wasn't making anything and was doing a lot of work.
no,
It's time to leave.
we're gonna start a Cannons for Californians fund.
Oh,
So
boy.
if any of them come down here and they have any of the California ways, and it's okay, you come, as long as you're ready to adopt our Tennessee ways, right? But if they have any of the California ways, we shoot them out of a cannon to Kentucky. Where they get-
Yeah, I was thinking they're going back to California. You got like little weak cannons.
Yeah, we can't shoot somebody way back to California, but we can shoot them right over the border to Kentucky, where the pig farmers will take care of the rest.
Tony.
Yeah. Our
But-
great American pig farmer.
Ari lives in California.
Ari's fine.
Zero
Ari's
lives
not
in
one of them. He
California.
can come here. We wouldn't shoot him back. Oh, no, to Kentucky.
Shoot it back.
Harry says, I do smoke a lot of pot, also surf, all right? Dang.
You're good.
Hey, you just keep the Californians down there. We don't need them up here in Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man, but it's the closest to Nashville, you know, so it's like, we could shoot them to Alabama, but that would upset the whole, I don't think Alabama would know what to do with them, to tell you the truth.
It's the closest other state to Nashville.
Yeah.
A transplanted New Yorker talking about Californians. Well,
Hey,
New Yorkers and Californians never really got along.
that's besides the point. I
Two
came down.
completely
I came-
different
no, wait a minute,
mindsets.
wait a minute. Let's get something straight. I came down here to Tennessee, and I said, you know what? I am gonna be them, okay? I am gonna, whatever their ways are is what I'm gonna adapt, you know what I mean? I'm not coming here, I'm not,
It's pretty easy transformation.
No, we're not trying to
wasn't
New Yorkify
yeah, I
Tennessee.
never tried to fucking New Yorkify
Yep.
anything, right? I came down here, and I was like,
Yorkify.
this is my new home, these are my new neighbors, this is my new family here, and I am gonna adapt to them, and that's what I did.
Not much different than New York, Staten Island in the 70s.
No, Middle Tennessee,
Yeah.
in Nashville is New York City in the
Well,
seventies.
Staten Island,
Staten Island, yeah.
not
My
New York
first time
City.
in a gun
Well,
shop.
Nashville is very much like New York in the seventies.
My first time in a gun shop in Tennessee was like, look, all the good stuff. You know, it was amazing.
Did I tell you about the first time I came here? I had never been to a Walmart before, right? It was before I moved here, and I was coming down every weekend to get the
Okay.
lay of the land and look at houses and stuff like that, right? So
Yeah, you were on expedition.
I was on
While I was
expedition.
with the kids.
I kept coming back and forth, right? So I came down here and I had never been to a Walmart before because we didn't have Walmarts in New York. So this is how New York I was, okay? This is how New York I was. I go into Walmart, it's open 24 hours, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, okay? And I go into Walmart and I'm looking around, I'm like, my God, this is expansive, this is huge. And I'm walking past like towels and pool noodles and all sorts of things, right?
noodles.
Toasters and homeless people, I got all sorts of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I come across the gun section, and I'm like, son of a bitch, they sell guns here, right? And then I looked and I says, there's bullets. They sell guns and they sell bullets
In
here.
the same place?
Why would anybody buy it? Wouldn't you just take the bullets, stick them in the gun, and walk out?
You're such a New Yorker.
I swear to God, that was, I swear on my eyes, this is the thought that I had my first time at a Walmart in Tennessee. That's how New York I was.
Yeah.
First time I went to Walmart with the kids, and I saw somebody pull a gun out. I was like, oh my God, what are they doing?
You know who I talked to yesterday?
Who?
You remember our old friend, Dr. Jamie Meyer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
How's he doing?
he's doing good. He's become a political activist.
Really?
Have you ever heard of Jamie Meyer?
No.
He was the head of Chevrolet Performance. All of the COPO cars and all that, that's all his.
Okay.
He created those things. And he bought up all the rights to one of my old magazines, Cars Illustrated. And that's how I got to know him. That's how we became friends. Well, we became friends after we fought like this. But
Like this.
he was right? He was the director of SEMA for a while, and now he's the head of PRI. And he's become a political activist.
A political activist?
He's become a political activist.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mopar Mark says everybody's a political activist these days.
Yeah, but he's got horsepower. He's got big lawyers and stuff like that. He's actually turning the whole PRI thing into a. So I'm looking forward to hearing more from Jamie.
Okay.
I know the big thing is Georgia right now.
Georgia?
He's heading on his way to Georgia. There's this.
For what reason?
Well, the same
Do you
thing
know?
that's going on everywhere.
Fuckery?
Hmm?
Fuckery? Let's not talk about politics now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Why did you choose Tennessee?
I originally wanted to, I had to get out of New York, because New York it had become a sucking hellhole.
It was getting really bad.
And this was in the late 90s, early 2000, right? And it was bad, because it wasn't the New York I grew up in.
It's changed really
I grew up a
quickly.
taxi driver in New York, it was a completely different, thing. And then it changed, it became shit, right? So my first choice, I fell in love with Wisconsin. I fell in with a bunch of nitro racers in the Chicago area. Nitro Bisaglia, Mike Fazer, Brett Welker. So I was bouncing back and forth from New York to the Chicago area, and like Union Grove had become like my home track for a while. I was always at Union Grove for something. So I fell in love with the Kenosha area. And Racine and Kenosha and all that, I was like, you know what? I'm moving. This is it. We're going to Kenosha or Racine. But the weather, right? The weather is just too extreme over there. The people are awesome. I mean, really, Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin is like my favorite place in the world. No, my second favorite place in the world. Then I came down to visit a buddy of mine who moved here to Tennessee, and I found like the same kind of atmosphere, the same kind of head, but with nicer weather. And I says, you know what? We're going down there.
Ohio was the same way with me. Good place, except the weather. Couldn't take it.
Yeah.
600 miles south of there, here. Actually, right here, a little further than that. And what a difference. Just because of the weather.
Yeah, we were running a Labor Day, or not a Labor Day, a Memorial Day race at Union Grove. It was on Memorial Day, it's the end of May. It was almost the 1st of June. And they had to, and our first round was delayed because of snow. I can't live like this.
Enough of that.
I can't live like this.
Mo Porden says, I'm upstate New York and pretend I live in Tennessee because I can't move out yet.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, Mo Porden, you gotta get out of upstate New York.
I would get the hell out of there as fast as I
You're not
could.
allowed to leave.
I'm not allowed to leave.
I would get out of there as fast as I could.
Because when you leave New York, I don't know, when you go across the state line, it does something to COVID. What does it do?
10 o'clock, you gotta be in the house 10 o'clock because that's when the
10 o'clock is
COVID
when the
comes
COVID
out.
comes out. Gets you.
Okay, we can't
COVID's
talk
gonna
about
get
this
you.
thing.
That's the boogeyman in the 21st century.
People think they go, I can't wait for 2020 to end. And I'm going, you know what? It's going to be the same next year.
Oh.
Did you ever think you'd live to see the day of people walking around with masks and stuff like that because of like
It's gonna
something
get
with a .000 mortality rate?
Well, the numbers are all messed up.
Let's see. I used to live in Maryland, John Doerr says.
Oh, yeah.
I lived in Maryland.
Maryland is my least favorite.
Ohio is like the tropics to Canadians.
Yeah. In Ohio, I lived right.
Stop, we will all end up on AOC's list.
I ended up. I was on Lake Erie, right, like a mile, less than a mile from Lake Erie. So it snowed, and it's just like Canada.
Well, you get that lake effect stuff.
Lake effect snow. That's where there's snow up to your
Oh, I know. I've experienced it.
private parts, and you walk around like that every day. You have 3 feet of snow. There is no excuse for being late to work.
I know.
And in Tennessee, it looks like somebody spilled a bag of flour out in the middle of the
And
road.
everything
And
stops.
it's blowing around, and there's this little, is that snow? Everything go to the bank, closed due
Yeah,
to weather.
because they don't salt the roads. You can't drive in it.
I can drive in it.
It's
Just
so black ice.
The first 3 flurries lead to the French toast panic. Everybody's got to do their bread, their eggs, and their milk.
I used to drive in the snow in New York. There was no problem.
Of
But
course
you
you
can't
did.
drive in it here because there's no salt or anything on the roads.
See, that's the thing, okay? New York, well, not just New York, any place in the north, right? We got the greatest drivers. Okay, so you talk about drag racing, right? We have the greatest drag racing drivers on earth because you grew up drifting through,
Drifting through
right?
snow.
So it's like, it's just a second nature. It's like your ass goes this way, the wheel goes this way. Your
Yeah.
ass goes this way, the wheel goes that way. So we don't lift. It's like, I don't care how sideways the thing gets. You don't lift, you just keep driving through it because it's exactly like driving through the snow.
My wife, former wife, she learned to drive in Ohio. She came from Russia, Soviet Union. She comes to Ohio, learns to drive a car in all that snow and everything, and then we moved down here. And she went to work at a hospital. Well, it snowed and they closed everything, but she didn't know that, so she drove to work because it was just a little snow blowing on the ground. She's the only one that showed up, so she was the nurse that was stuck there for days. Because nobody else would drive in this little bit of
Yeah.
white shit going around.
But it kind of melts and turns to black ice here.
I don't know.
It gets a little slippery.
It's very slippery.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we had ice storms here a couple of times, and big branches break off the thing. Yeah, I don't like that a whole lot.
But it doesn't last long, and 2 days later, it's sunny and 60 degrees.
Although I had somebody cut a lot of branches off the trees, ones that are hanging over my house, because I don't want them coming down on the house. So that's a little different here, the ice, so.
Did somebody thumb us down? It's okay.
Somebody thumbed us,
Yeah.
probably somebody from where it snows and they like it. The snow's so beautiful.
Would you rather salty roads or non-rusty cars?
Non-rusty cars.
Not rusty cars.
Man, you never been to Arizona? You've been there, one
Yeah.
of you.
She has.
Okay, well, you know what it's like. You
Yeah,
see like
it's the desert.
50-year-old cars, there's no rust. There's no paint because they've been sandblasted. There is, the interiors are burned up, but so what? No body damage anywhere,
Yeah, no, I'm used to rust-free cars down there. Like you get
Oh,
rust.
here's
because
pretty good.
bad weather stripping and like dirty
Yeah,
shit, but nothing like,
Oh, yeah, you do get rust here, but nothing like up there. Up there, half the car's missing.
Jason,
I got up there to Ohio and I met some kids that are working on cars, so they're gonna go to the wrecking yard. And
It's
looking
a
for
dry
car.
heat.
And we go over there and they get in the car, and the first thing they do is they stomp the shit out of the driver's floor and then look underneath the car to see how big the pile is.
it's not a dry heat,
Rust.
it's an oven.
now pretty much every car we own has floorboard and had floorboard holes and stuff like. The floors on that car, like literally, they just got stamped from the factory. But every car we own has like little trunk spots that they had to patch or floor spots that need to be patched because water gets in there. You know what I mean? But nothing like the way we. Here's
My 61 Studebakers from Arizona, and the floors still have factory paint on them.
that's we all have.
That's all the way it was.
Yeah.
Even though the trunk was gone.
And what happened? Error with the salt bags?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that made a mess, didn't it?
Yeah, but there's zero rust on the actual car itself.
Yeah.
Just,
It's a bag of salt in there, and it went down there.
Try living in Minnesota, 9 months of depressing, brutal, frozen wonderland.
why?
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 I lived in South Dakota when I was a kid, about from here to that door from Minnesota. It is brutal.
Yeah, and South Dakota's better than North Dakota for sure.
I've never been to North Dakota.
Well, I've never been there either, but I know people who have, and you hear the horror stories. It's like they're locked in the house for 10 months out of the year. Like, you just can't fucking
It
move.
was not nice. 32 below zero. I was walking to school, and we were kids, so something to brag about. But then I remember my father out there digging out of ice and trying to get the cars going. And we were still south of Canada, so they had it worse, man. Oh,
You haven't lived until you have filled your whole trunk with cinder blocks to drive to work.
I used to use old tires.
I just let the tires spin. I get there.
Throw the old tires in the trunk.
Now the
back in
stream
back.
is on. Your internet's having a seizure. What's up, Terry Toes?
Well, we have internet problems.
No, someone was asking if our stream ended.
Uh-oh,
Let's see.
that's not good.
No, we're on. I had studded tires on a Mustang before I wrecked the car. Studded tires, man.
Studded tires. I used studded tires with great success at Fountain Avenue.
Yeah?
Yeah, studded snow tires
On the Carnet?
on a few different cars. The GTX and the Carnet both ran their best with studded snow tires in the summer.
Hey,
Right.
you watch that crazy Garage 54, that Russian
I love
guy?
that show. Yeah,
He
I don't
took-
watch
he
it as
took-
much as I.
He took tires and he took like 10,000 sheet metal screws and screwed them through the tires from the inside,
Okay.
and then put tube in there so it wouldn't leak. And they went out and drove in the snow and ran away from everybody. Car handled good, got through everything. It's pretty cool.
Oh, what happened to that slant six you were putting all the block work into? I may have just missed the video.
It's right here.
That's it.
That's the cylinder head for it.
I gotta show it. Hang on, I gotta move.
Gotta show it again?
Yep. Here's the head for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna trip on something.
Don't trip.
I'm trying not to. Oh,
Careful.
okay.
That's the head.
It's nice.
And here's the block. I just rigged it out a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Time to give that a clean up and get it ready to assemble.
Here's the block.
And I've been working on the car. I spent the last
Working on the
I
car.
spent the last 2 or 3 days
See.
replacing that rotted section of frame.
Yep, right there.
Tony's into this project now.
Yeah, I'm on it full time.
He works all the time, guys. Every day.
Oh,
We
do you
just don't
remember-
show it.
Do you remember last week? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't.
Are you touching
That was a
Buck?
completely non-homo thing. Wait,
What'd you do?
hang on.
He grabbed onto me.
You ran
Remember
Buck?
last week we were talking about the motor mill?
Yeah, I came here on Monday, remember, and I saw that all
Yeah,
done.
but
That was
people
pretty
see it.
cool. Yeah, but I mean, you got on it that quickly.
Yeah, the next day I was in here. I was in here.
It was done already when I got here the next day.
Yeah, I got.
Oh, no.
That's it. That took the place of the rubber mount. So that's all. That's all set to go now.
Lightning bolts.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. I'll be right back.
Where you going?
I want to get the hunk of rubber.
This is exciting. What are you getting, rubber? What's up, Danny boy?
He's trying to get through the shop, there's too much in here.
Upstate New York is a great place to be from. The farther from, the better.
What do you say, Brad?
Upstate New York is a great place to be from. The farther from,
Farther
the better.
Here. That's what I replaced.
I'm good,
Okay.
Jason.
Over
Well,
here.
show everybody.
Okay. Feel that. Tell me how much that weighs. Tell me how much you think that weighs.
What is it? Tell everybody what it
Yeah,
is.
It's heavy.
It's 5
It's 5
pounds.
pounds, yeah, it's about 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And this is nowhere near that.
Yeah.
You broke through here.
Yeah, that's okay.
Edge distance problem. Yeah.
That's all right.
They're asking what it is.
This is the
motor
passenger.
mount.
Yeah, this is the passenger side motor mount for the Slant 6 for the Dart, and this is the original mount that was on there. It's 5 pounds because not only is it rubber, but it's this giant hunk of steel here, and then the studs that go through.
Did you weigh that?
I didn't, but it's here. Feel
Oh,
that?
I know, I just had it in my
Yeah.
hand, it was, that's heavy.
Right. So I replaced that with this box tubing, and I just welded it straight to it, and so this is the whole passenger side mount, and now we could use this on one of our other cars. It doesn't have to be light to go fast.
Uncle Tony, have you been to the UK? If so, what did you think?
I have not. I've had many friends from the UK. The coolest person, one of the coolest people I ever met, right, was a guy named Norman Wilding. Okay, have I ever tell you about it?
Ryan Fitzpatrick sent you $5 Canadian. Go ahead,
Thank
talk
you, Ryan.
about
One of the
Norm
coolest
Wilding.
people I ever met was from the UK. His name was Norm Wilding, right? This was back in like 1991, 1992. And I started a booking agency called the World Funny Car Association. Because I was running with a bunch of old cars at the time. And I wanted to have like a traveling show. So I had Troy Ray, Bobby Lagana, Mike Fazer, a couple of other guys. I'm trying to think. Well, it was a 4-car deal. And this fellow named Norm Wilding. So Norm had come over from England. And Norm grew up wanting to race funny cars. That was it. That was his whole trip. It's all he ever wanted. So he did some things, and I'm not even sure what they are, in England, and then came here to the United States and could never, ever go back to England. So he came here, put a fuel car together, with whatever money he was able to leave England with, and he lived in his truck, and he lived in the truck with the funny car, and
Who do you live with? A funny car.
yeah, And that was it. Like he was like the nitro gypsy, you know, roaming the United States. And he ran into this bad luck streak. He was doing good. I had booked him into a couple of races. He was getting bookings. I had booked him into a couple of races. He made good first round qualifier money at a couple of national events. And then he ran into this problem where every time he'd run the car, it blew the crankshaft. It just threw the fucking crankshaft on the ground. And there was a guy named Donnie Holbrook that extended him. He was down here in Alabama, I believe, and he extended him a line of credit, and ended up repossessing Norm's entire operation. And yeah, it was sad. It was bad. I could see where he was getting taken advantage of. A bunch of us tried to help him get it squared away, but nothing anybody came up with worked. He'd launch the car, it would go out like 30 feet and just blow the crankshaft out on the ground. So whatever it was that was doing it, did him in. And then a couple of years later, don't ask me how, but I found him in Orlando, Florida, not Orlando, in Disneyland, working at, he became a cook at one of those dinner theater things in Orlando.
Yeah,
The King's Feast.
a long time ago.
King Henry's Feast, I think it was called.
That was like 20 years ago.
Yeah,
At
it was
least.
closer, yeah, at least 25 years ago.
That was when we were in New York still.
Yeah, and he was a cook at King Henry's Feast in Florida. I don't know what's happened to him since. Norm, if anybody knows Norm, if heard of Norm or anything like that, you got any leads for him, have him get in touch with me. He was a great guy. I miss him.
Jack Daniels sent $5.
Jack Daniels.
My first car is a 91 B250 with a 318. Should I ditch the TBI? I want more power. I bought an '01 Civic 5-speed and I prefer the van. Keep rocking.
Yeah, I would lose the TBI. If you've got to go with fuel injection, you know, use a Sniper or one of the other aftermarket units out there. I'm a carburetor guy. You know, I would throw a 750 vacuum secondary on there and let her eat.
Arabian Nights?
No, it's called King Henry's Feast.
Yeah, we had that in New Jersey too.
Yeah, it was. He was a character. We had, I booked our collective into Long Island Dragway for it was in West Hampton, New York, and I booked us in there for a race, and we got rained out. So the agreement was $250 rain money, right? So we had 4 cars, they owed us $1,000. So we're sitting there in the tower, they had just the manager of the track, right? Everybody else was gone because it was just raining, and we had the 4 cars sitting there. I was with Bobby Lagana, and then we had Troy Ray was there, and Mike was there, and Norm, and they wouldn't pay us the rain money. So first we threatened to burn the tower down, and that got the attention of the owner, but he said he couldn't come up with the money. So Norm Wilding took the manager hostage and made him go to his mother. Brought him to his mother, yeah, no, seriously. He took this guy hostage, like literally took him hostage. Brought him to his mother's house, got his mother's ATM card, and then hit all of these banks to get us our rain money.
It's
Isn't there a
horrible.
crime
Listen, you do what you gotta do.
His mom.
You do what you gotta do.
Come
You gotta
on. That's really bad.
Better than burning down his tower, right?
Oh, no.
Gary Chamari, he was a character.
Oh, the smell of gin and regrets. Ah.
No, we did all this stuff dead sober. There was no alcohol, there was no nothing. We all just had the nitro
It's
sickness.
really a good thing you weren't a drinker.
I'm telling you,
He just sleeps when he drinks.
yeah.
That's what happened to me. Oh,
He's
God.
supposed
I
to
told
sleep.
you last week I took that swig of
Yeah, me
some
too.
whiskey on the night of the election, and I had an empty stomach,
On
and I thought I was
election
gonna.
I think we all
Roll it
drank
right
on
back
election
up.
night.
I'm not gonna brag.
Oh,
I'm not gonna
man.
brag, but look at how nice this
Oh, I'm-
intake flows. Look at this.
I-
Look at how
I
beautiful.
can't see it,
I know you
Tony.
can't see
I
it.
noticed that I'm sitting here staring at this, and pretty soon I'm like, I'm not paying attention, or it doesn't look like I'm. Then I look back over here, but I'm keep checking this out.
Yeah, I got a lot of
like it.
work in that head.
I like it. I never met anybody that actually ported heads before, and then I saw you do the one on that 318, and then this, and
Well, that one I
Yeah.
actually took some care on. I mean, I didn't just carve away at that.
318.
I
You
took
carved that
my
thing
time
out
on
in
it.
a hurry, but I'm sure it'll work well, you
I
know.
have no idea.
But we're gonna find out.
Okay,
And these two guys keep talking you up.
who?
Oh, Lunar
What about,
why can't I remember names?
Oh,
The guy in Canada, the guy that,
Nick,
Nick's garage, yeah.
well, I mean, I wish them both well.
And
you
they're
know?
gonna run that engine, they're all excited about it.
what's your thoughts on all these trucks with only half a lift kit on?
You mean the one that was slotted in the
Why do
back?
they do that? Just to blind me going down the road? Man, the headlights up like this? What the heck? Why do they do that?
It looks like they're squatting and take a leak.
Yeah, it looks like a cat taking a shit.
What are your thoughts on alcohol drag racing?
Not a fan, not a fan. You know, I like gasoline, I like nitromethane, and I understand all the benefits of alcohol. I get it, I totally get it, I know. Just not for me. It's either, for me, it's either pump gas, I don't even like race gas. I like, okay, here's how again, it's like my own little quirks, my own little weaknesses. I like, when I say pump, when I say gas, pump gas. And I don't mean, you know, special pump gas. Gas you can get at any pump, anywhere in the country, anytime,
Because it's available.
because available, or nitromethane. To me, there is in between. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm not knocking any of the in-between stuff. And I love that other people do it. I'm fascinated by what other people do, and it's awesome. But for me, my own personal tastes, my own, outlook on things, it's either readily available, everyday pump gas, or nitromethane, and nothing really exists in the middle.
Water says, hey Tony, do you know anything about the 6.1 liter Hemi engines?
Other than the stuff that we've done a couple of videos on them. I mean, no, not really. No,
That's a 5.7.
that's a 5.7.
Have an 850 Holly alcohol carb for 351. Set this engine up to run on street? Question marks.
You want to run alcohol on the street? You realize the volume of alcohol you got to run 2.2 times the amount of alcohol to gasoline. So I mean, if you've got a combination of, let's just say ballpark, you're getting like 8 or 10 miles to the gallon worth. You know what I mean? Now you're down to like 4 miles to the gallon. It's going to be an expensive thing to drive around.
Not many BTUs in that alcohol.
Not many BTUs, and it's
But it's
hell on,
high octane, you know. So.
it's hell on rings too. Once that motor gets up to operating temperature, a lot of that alcohol, it's washing that film of that microscopic film that's on the cylinder walls. It keeps everything like friction free. It's wanting to clean that off. It's wanting to wipe that out just because of the volume that's in there.
And you know how you make an alcohol cocktail? You lean it. And then you know what happens? Burns
They
piston.
get angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an angry horsepower.
Sean 886 sent you $5.
Thank you, Sean.
So the sprint car guys and
He has a
the
question.
owners, the car owners hated these things. They had a dial-it jet. So they
Yeah.
could lean it as they're going. And they're almost winning, so they're a little leaner.
Yeah.
And they're done.
What's the question?
Sean says, I had to remove my drive shaft in my '08 Jeep Liberty to change the starter. I was pissed. Is this unique to Jeeps, Chryslers?
I assume you mean the front drive shaft. No, I think there are other vehicles. Four-wheel drive stuff, man, is always, which is why I stay away from four-wheel drive stuff. That's like why our off-road cars are going to be two-wheel drive with a nice, healthy winch. Because, once you get the transfer case and the axle and all of the, things start to get packed in there. pretty
Well,
tight.
and that's not that bad. You know, there's cars you gotta pull the intake manifold to get it to start.
Oh, like the North Star. Yeah.
Yeah, like a North Star and a bunch of European cars.
The guy that asked about the
Terrible.
alcohol says rings. Got it. Any suggestions?
You stick with gasoline. I mean, if it's
85.
if it's a street race car, well, even 80, 85.
It's gonna take more of it.
Yeah,
A lot more of it.
yeah. I mean, yeah, run it on 85.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That 50, the gasoline gives it enough of that you don't need, it changes that 2.2 to 1 ratio.
Back in World War II, they used to make 150 octane for P-51 Mustangs.
I thought it was 130, maybe.
I don't know, so-
Yeah, I don't know, it's pretty high, yeah.
How do you feel about the Plymouth Sport Fury or Chrysler 300H? Seen one in my neighborhood. Sharp cars.
Oh, they're awesome. I got a guy here that's got one rotting on the side of his house. It's a shame. You
What
won't.
is it?
A 70 Chrysler
A
380.
70, okay. Oh,
You know,
that's
that's the one
that's
thing-
a big, like an aircraft carrier.
Yeah, it's got the fiberglass hood, it's got
Yeah.
the fiberglass deck lid, and that's stock from just sitting there.
Okay, Grant Davies says, why does total timing stop at around 3K? For example, and not climb linearly with RPM, say up to the 5 to 6K range. Even looking at maps from NA computer cars, they don't keep advancing with RPM.
Right, because the higher the RPM, the less advanced you need. And actually, the trick is to retard the timing on the top end. And it just has to do with volumetric efficiency. The volumetric efficiency increases as RPM goes up, and so it needs less spark advance to make the same amount of power. So at 1,000 RPM, you need 36 degrees for the hit, okay? And then at 6,000 RPM, you need like 30 degrees or 28 degrees to maintain that same relationship through the range.
Need Metal wants to know, you're still doing Kiwi's motor?
Yes, it's right there.
What's up, Olive? She says, the last time I saw a Cherokee front drive shaft, there was no drama about having it on or off. Let's see. I live in a, okay, hang on.
Well, it's not a big deal to drop the front drive shaft to get to the starter. That's not a big deal. What happens is you look at the starter and then you spend an hour trying to figure out how you can get it without disturbing anything else, instead of just spending the 5 minutes to take the drive shaft out. The first time you do it, it's a pain in the ass because you had to rack your brains to figure out how it's got to get done. Pulling the drive shaft becomes an obvious thing at that point. So the second time you do it, it's just like, oh, okay, drop the drive shaft, and it's done. So that's,
You know, working on cars in the 60s, back then, there were cars I didn't like to work on because things were hard to access.
Mercury's.
But then time went on and we got into newer stuff like today, where everything's so difficult. And then I go back to one of those cars that I used to think was difficult.
And it's like, what a snap.
Nothing.
I
It's
know.
easy.
I know.
Tom Zazoulis, I hope I said that right, says 93 Ford Probe, no crank, no start with new battery. All fuses and relays seem fine. All dash lights light up fine. Is it starter / solenoid? Thanks.
It's a 93?
Yeah,
Okay, I know that, I see, I know this problem right there.
you
Okay.
do. Okay.
On the negative side of the battery terminal, okay, there's a pigtail that's got a plug, okay? It's gonna be located probably 5 or 6 inches downstream of the battery, or maybe even less than that, downstream of the battery on the negative side. That's the ground for the computer. And that ground gets dirty, right? Clean that up or snip it and just put those wires together, car will start right up.
Stephen R. says, did you ever change a Chrysler electronic ignition to HEI just using an HEI module? If so, any benefit?
No, I have not. I have not. And I don't see how there would be any benefit, to tell you the truth. The HEI is, I'm not knocking the HEI in any way, shape, or form, but the HEI does not create the spark. The coil creates the spark. So using an HEI module to trigger the coil, as opposed to using the Chrysler deal to trigger the coil, is going to give you exactly the same result, just a better coil.
Zero says, wave the gearhead monk, now done. How about them UTG pencils and ashtrays?
So whatever happened to pencils?
Trying to make the pencils.
Your favorite troll is kidding you about having pencils with your face on them.
Which troll?
Don't even say it, don't even say
Brian.
it. Don't even bring him up.
So we all decided it was a good idea, but then you didn't do it. I think he said Uncle Chris was gonna carve them.
We're gonna whittle them.
Whittle, that's it.
Yeah, we're gonna whittle them.
Does that guy, literally, does he sit, from what I'm gathering, he sits in his basement?
I don't know what level he's on. I mean, he's in
Don't
a room.
even mention him. Don't even give him the time of day.
Just, yeah, he is.
Like,
I gotta give him some kind of recognition, because the
Right,
guy's got a
you-
channel
you
devoted
really
to us.
don't.
Channel devoted to you.
You really don't.
He keeps making your name longer.
Uh-huh.
What's he calling me now?
See if I can remember. It's like baby bottle rocket pimple popper something. I don't know. He made it really long, and he's got like 2 subscribers that laugh at his jokes.
Benjamin C says to send him a shirt. No, I don't want his address.
Gee,
I'll send him a shirt, no,
No.
definitely.
that would be
No.
funny. See if he wears it.
Say we did not.
You guys really don't like him.
I think he's.
What's the like?
I checked out his channel because I want to know what he's doing.
What's
you know?
likable?
I don't really know.
Right.
There's no real serious threat, so I go, well, he hasn't done that yet, so I guess we're.
Not yet.
There's gotta be somebody who likes him.
And he really gives you a hard time because you don't get anything done.
Mm-hmm.
And he sits there on his ass and does nothing. So, I don't know, you know, it's like,
There's not much logic there.
I don't get anything done.
yeah. So all you ever did was put STP stickers on the headlights.
Yeah,
true.
that's true.
That's true.
Let's see. Out of all things moving states, how was the pizza scene? Or are you much of a grease wheel guy? What does that mean?
How's
Can you
it?
still get pizza?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I got a,
Oh, yeah, the night of the day of the engine build?
yeah.
That guy showed up with all those pizzas. Somebody in California bought them for you.
Baron did.
Barron did that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And Fred Rubble bought us pizza.
Oh, that's right, Fred Rubble.
Sent us all that pizza
So
when we
that's
were
right,
doing
it
the
wasn't
live.
Barron. It was Fred
Barron.
Rubble.
Fred Rubble.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't think it was Barron. But all those pizzas showed up, and then you took the pizza delivery guy and had him torque bolts on the.
I can remember, it's a blur.
And he has a big smile on his face. He's on YouTube torquing bolts.
Yeah, I got my buddy Sammy has a pizza.
Vegetable lasagna is not lasagna.
No.
We gotta do the UTG cookbook.
We should.
UTG
Yeah.
cookbook.
Yeah, we can do the UTG cookbook. I can put that together after the holidays.
Why? It
it's too
seems like a
busy.
perfect holiday.
It's gonna take time. I need photographs. I have to cook the stuff. I gotta take pictures of it. I gotta put together a book.
All right, okay.
I'm not gonna do it in
Yeah, I mean,
like
if you're really gonna do it,
2 weeks.
cookbook, it ought to be a shop cookbook. You know, like how you could weld little tubes on the headers and stick burritos in there and cook them, and you could do all kinds of shit.
That's
like that.
disgusting.
though.
I see, I do.
Tony's a very picky
I'm a
eater.
prima donna when it comes to my food.
Really, you're not a shop. You're not a shop.
No.
We can put
Shocking.
together a good UTG cookbook.
Like Carl, my Arizona friend Carl, the other night when you were talking about pizza, he goes, "Yeah, it's the food that when you get finished, your hands are clean and you're not hungry anymore."
And see, I can make videos as I'm putting together the cookbook too.
Why don't you collaborate with Buff Del Campo on the cookbook?
On the cookbook?
Yeah.
That's kind of
Do you cook, Buff?
well. I know how to heat up food so it's safe to eat,
So that's a no.
but it doesn't necessarily taste good.
No, I'm a prima donna when it comes to food, and I don't want it prepared by a male. You know, I just
Can't have
unless
it
it's
prepared by
necessary.
a male.
Well, no, I mean unless it's necessary. You know what I mean? It's like okay, so I go to my friend Sammy, and I'll eat. You know, he's such a good cook. I'm like, that was. Remember I was talking about the chicken thing with the
Oh,
curry?
yeah, yeah.
That's
Ask
what
him for the
Sammy used to
recipe.
make for me, right?
The chicken.
Ask them for the recipe.
My friend Sammy he used to have a Mediterranean buffet, and
Oh man.
he used to make me.
I'll
this-
have some roller rockers on my pizza.
He cooked. when we
Mopar
went in-
Den sent $14.99. Uncle Kathy's Garden Cookbook.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mopar Den. Hey, we still have to make our movie.
We will.
Okay.
So my friend Sammy. Oh shit! I touched her again.
You're always like, don't touch me, and then you're always grabbing onto my arm.
My friend Sammy had a Mediterranean buffet, right?
Okay.
And beautiful setup. But whenever I would go in there, he would cook special for me. Okay. So he made me this gyro plate. Okay. And I used to eat like this was insane. Okay. He made me this giant gyro plate, and then he made me this chicken thing. Okay. And it was like a curry chicken with like this white sauce. Okay. That was like off the chain. And just today, right now, this is about 15 years ago that he had this place. And just today, we were sitting down, we were eating, and he says, "What was that chicken and curry thing with the sauce you used to make?" I thought it was Uncle Kathy.
No,
Uncle
I didn't
Kathy
make
never
that.
made anything that good for me.
Oh, bull crap. You know I cook really good for
You're
you.
ballast,
You're
remember?
such, yeah, I'm ballast. You're such an ass. I love you, but you're a jerk.
She's ballast.
What else did Sam used to make me? He would make me,
It was some sort of chicken with a creamy curry sauce.
yeah, right, but it was something else. He used to make me 3 things every time
Oh,
I
I
went in
don't
there.
know.
Oh, and the bread.
The bread.
He used to make
fresh
that bread.
Uncle Kathy's Kitchen Channel. I could do that. I don't have to,
That was my
Learn
power
things. I know
eater
how to do
days.
that already.
I used to be a power eater.
Thank you, Robert. Robert Galvin says, Uncle Kathy, you're a great moderator. We love our mods, Zero and Ari and Fubar and John Wilburn.
Absolutely, we got the greatest mods in the whole internet.
Buff needs a stop touching me t-shirt.
Stop touching me. You remember what you did last week? You remember what you did last week?
No, I don't know.
When you had to go and touch me, you took a UTG sticker and stuck it on my shirt. So when I got in the car, I stuck it in the dash. And when I came in here tonight, I was going to stick it on my shirt, but I forgot. It's still on my dash.
I think I got one in my area at some point.
Tony's
I
Italian.
don't
He's
wanna
very
waste a second.
handsy.
What's that?
He's Italian. He's very handsy. He talks with his
Handsy.
hands.
Yeah, hands.
You guys see me try and pick thumbnails because he's always moving. Or if I have to do an edit, it's like impossible because he's just flailing everywhere. You don't stand still. So people complain about my edits, but hey, it is what it is. Let's see. Funny, I'm eating some cakes that I made with my Old Bay seasoning. Nice, John R.
Somebody up in the Northeast. Who was that?
John R.
Yeah, I don't even
See in Maryland.
I want an ashtray. You know, I did look for the ashtrays, but apparently smoking's not in favor, so they don't sell them like they used to. I really can't find any, except Etsy had them for like $30 a pop.
You know, I'm more likely to eat an ashtray than fish.
You don't eat any fish?
I mean, any fish.
You don't eat fish.
No fish at all?
Nothing.
I seen
What
you
about
eat a piece of
shellfish?
fish once. No, you eat clams.
I used to. I haven't
Little
eaten
neck
it.
clams you
I
eat.
used to, not in years.
What about lobster?
But you would
I
eat
don't
them,
use-
wouldn't you?
It's a bug.
See,
The
you won't
lobster
eat
is a
fish,
bug.
but you'll eat a
I
clam.
don't care if it's a bug.
I haven't. When was the last time you saw me eat a clam?
It's a big bug with a lot of good
I don't
meat.
know, 35 years ago?
35 years ago, right?
Used to go to Sheepshead Bay.
Yeah.
I
It's
miss
not
Sheepshead Bay.
It's not like that anymore, I'm sure.
No. Also, yes, Olive says UTG ashtray is very appropriate bonus points if they come with a little tire around them. I know the ones you're talking
Yep.
about,
Oh, I
Olive.
remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember those.
What's up, Curtis? Have you done any more G-Tech stuff?
No, but what we're going, this week, maybe tomorrow, it just depends on the weather, but we're gonna do the before and after tune-up this week, and then we're gonna do, after that, we're gonna do a back-to-back this Summit 600, which is like the cheapest aftermarket four-wheeler you can buy, versus an Edelbrock 600. Both carburetors are bone stock out of the box, and we'll see which one is which.
What's
I'm
up,
looking forward to
B-Fog?
that.
Any chance we can get a midweek UTG live, maybe Wednesday for 1.5 hours?
We used to do them, we used to do.
Only
them
during
weekends.
lockdown we did
During
them.
the
Yeah.
lockdown, we did them, it was kind of like, just,
Not to be crazy.
Just did it.
Yeah.
well, we felt that, our community, we just,
Yeah,
it was the one contribution we could try to make for our community, so we did it.
Devin wants to know, hey, Uncle T, why did you stop replying to comments?
It became too time consuming, hours and hours, I used to spend 5-6 hours, we just talked about this last week. I used to spend 5-6 hours a day going through the comments, and what happens is it takes me off my purpose. You gotta understand, I get up in the morning, I get up like 5 o'clock in the morning, I shoot here, I start working, I work all through the day, then we make videos, and I just don't have the time or headspace to go through, to do the comments anymore. I check them, but I don't go through them anymore. So
I have seen you go through some, not too long.
Every once in a while.
every once in a while.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, but generally, I'm busy, my head is full. And a lot, I'll tell you another thing too, a lot of the comments, because, okay, I know it falls under the thing of trollism, right? But a lot of them ask a question and you'll give an answer.
Probably zero. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm talking to zero.
Somebody will ask a question or make a statement, and then you'll respond to that, and then you get caught in this loop with them, and it just, you know what I'm saying? It's like, does that make any sense?
Yeah, totally.
Some of them you should check.
I should.
You gotta comment at least once on every video. At least once. Something. There's gotta be something in there that's a question that needs to be answered.
I have been neglecting it.
You've been neglecting.
I have been neglecting it, and, no, I'm serious.
I know.
And I'm wrong for doing this. I know that.
It's okay, you can catch up a little bit. You can do a little bit.
I'll make an effort.
Okay.
Of course, that's what Sunday nights are about.
That's right, Robert
You make up
Murphy.
the whole thing on Sunday night.
But seriously, that's why we do these lives every Sunday night, because this is, you know, so there's the comments there on the videos, but then there's this, and it's like, if you've got a statement to make, you want to make a comment, even if you want to just troll us, come here now and do it now. You know what I
Come
mean?
troll us
And
now.
we can interact live.
They're afraid to troll us now. They only like to troll us in the comments. They don't want to troll us live because I'll read them. And then we'll laugh and laugh. Okay, Cody says, shout out from Bronx, New York City. Got the fastest C63 in the country. Who wants to race for money?
There you go, there's a call out.
How's the Bronx, Cody?
Is there any racing up there anymore? There has been racing in the Bronx since, like, geez, the connecting highway days.
Lives got me through lockdown. Really appreciated it. Yeah, we were trying.
That's why we were doing it.
Mark Gabello, hi, all from Pennsylvania, USA.
What's going on, man?
Let's see.
How's that recount going over there?
Don't ask any questions. No recount questions. Mopar Mark says, I have a 78 Fiat Spider 124. They're better than people think. Did you ever have one of those?
I never had one, but I worked on them and I drove them back in the day when I was a regular mechanic.
Did you like working on Fiats?
Nobody else wanted to work on them, and so I ended up working on an inordinate number of Fiats. Let's just say in the middle '80s. You know, they weren't terrible. They weren't terrible.
I never enjoyed it. I had a friend, he liked this girl, and I told him, I said, she's talking about him, and I said, she wants you to work on her car, and he goes, oh yeah, I'll do that. And I said, it's a Fiat 124, and he goes, no, I don't want to meet her. I said, it's pretty funny.
Michael O'Loughlin sent $5.
Thank you, Michael.
Uncle Kathy's kitchen donation. Thank you, Michael.
Kitchen donations.
Favorite Mopar engine block color?
Orange.
Orange?
Orange.
You
Well,
don't
I
like the
red.
blue? I like the blue.
You like
There
the
were
blue?
two
I do
different
like the
blues,
blue.
weren't there? There was like a turquoise blue, and then there was
I like the
a
turquoise.
solid blue that I kind of liked.
1968 and earlier, 69 and earlier is that turquoise, and in '70 they went to the corporate blue.
Oh, that corporate blue is what they call it. Yeah, I think that looked good.
Amis 28888. Okay, lean fire ignition system, getting no spark. Have tried everything. What's the easiest to go to get it running? It's in a 318 D100.
No spark.
Lean fire ignition system, getting no spark.
Lean burn. Lean burn.
It says lean fire. That's how I
Okay.
read it. So
All right. The
that's how we
lean.
wrote it.
Oh God. Best way to do it is just eliminate the lean burn. Just get it out of there and wire
Shoot
it.
the damn thing.
Seriously, put a distributor in there with centrifugal advance, and just bypass the entire lean burn thing. Just use the same wiring schematic as you'd have, let's say, on a 1972, 1973 car, as far as the ignition goes, and get rid of that whole lean burn thing. It is nothing. They were trouble from get-go, and they haven't gotten any better over the last 35 years. So yeah, 40 years, right? God,
Over
it's
40 years.
2020, over 40 years. Yeah, do away with it.
Is it 18 to 1, right?
I don't even know.
Yes.
I don't
So
even know.
how's this gonna work? Well, I had a radiator shop, and up the street, one block on this side was a Chrysler dealer. So they used to invite us to remember they had these clinics where somebody from, okay, so we go up there to the clinic, and it was like late 70s. And the whole clinic was drivability issues with lean burn,
Yep.
and it was brand new.
Let's see.
I remember back in the 70s, I was a teenager, I was working on these cars, you know, as a mechanic, as a regular mechanic, and I was swapping out lean burns for points. Just undo it, and you customer bring you a car, and the thing's just, it's a stone, you give it gas, it stumbles, it doesn't, you know, it surges, it does all kinds of weird things. You just, not even touching the carburetor, just pop that distributor out, throw a points distributor in it, you know, hook up a one wire to the coil and send them on their way. And they'd be like, "You're a miracle worker. This car runs amazing."
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, bring it back in 10,000 miles and I'll throw a set of points in it for you for $25.
Shannon Landsberger says, UTG, I have a 71 Charger with a 383. I want more power, but still reliable. Am I better off stroking this 383 to a 49 or going with a stroked 440?
Don't worry about size on that. You can get yourself I did that 383 video last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. Go back and watch that. Honestly, cam, intake, headers, or if you can, it's almost hard to not make 400 horsepower with a 383. Just basics. Cam, intake, carb, right? Headers, and of course a distributor, that's curved to work correctly. And like 425 horsepower is like guaranteed. Those engines are amazing.
It'll do so much more than adding a few cubic inches.
Yeah, seriously, don't even think about adding cubic inches until you've maximized the combination that's there.
Who's Your Garage says, I'm taking a break from editing. What's up? Editing's fun, isn't it? Let's see. Mac Howe.
I have my staff do all the editing.
Your staff.
Staff.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Tony. We're going to have a talk
Staff,
after the
fellas,
live is over.
good.
I'll give you staff. Mac Howe says, I'm going to kill you. Could a remanufactured block that has the same factory specs as the 444 ball stud Hemi be produced? The existing one was altered, but could you hypothetically reverse the modifications?
Read that one more time.
Okay. Could a remanufactured block that has the same factory specs as the 444 ball stud Hemi be produced? The existing one was altered, but could you hypothetically reverse the modifications?
As far as I know, the block itself, right, is the same dimensionally as a 400. So if you had a set of the ball stud Hemi heads, I don't know what the clearances were for push rods. I'm not even sure, but I'm pretty sure if you wanted to duplicate, let's say, a ball stud motor, let's say you wanted you were able to actually scan, see a set of heads for the thing and adopt Chevy rockers. I think you just use a regular 400 block for that.
Buff, question. John R. wants to know, what's the octane of leaded aviation fuel?
There's stuff called, there was old 100, I don't think they have that anymore. And there's 100 low lead, which is still pretty high lead content. And that's what's available mostly.
But that's rated, isn't that?
100 low lead.
But isn't that rated differently than
Yes.
car gasoline?
Yeah,
So 100 low lead aviation gas is like 108 octane.
I don't really know.
There are
You know
differences
who
in
would know?
standards, like the FAA has its standard and the SAE has its standard, and they're done two different.
Email Barron. He is a chemical
He's a chemical
engineer.
engineer.
He knows all about, I just got in a conversation with him on the phone.
Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
should contact
All
Barron.
about this stuff.
Give Barron's cell
Where is
number.
Barron?
Yeah, I'm not gonna give his cell number.
Why?
but-
People may need to talk to him.
Did you imagine? Everybody called Barron.
But I'm sure his email's out there.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, Barron, aren't you here tonight?
I don't think so. No, I
Ah.
haven't seen him.
The other thing is, I'll give you a reference too, EAA, Experimental Aircraft Association. A lot of the airplanes that have been around for a while, 100 low lead's pretty expensive. They used to have 87, which is, you can't find it anymore. So there's a thing called an STC, Supplementary Type Certificate to use automotive fuel in airplanes. Some airplanes can use that. And so there's a lot written on this, octane and different octane ratings for aircraft. EAA, you're probably able to get all that stuff.
Look how nice I made the ports on that.
Isn't that nice?
You see how much I raise the exhaust? You can't tell how much I raise the
These
exhaust.
young guys, they would like to see like blue LEDs in there, so.
That would be snazzy. Or a strobe.
Sharps and Flat says, happy I found this channel. At age 18 in 1997, I built/restored a 65 Barracuda and put a 71 built 340 into it. Took 3 years of work. Wish I still had it. Love the Mopar talk here. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Wish I still had it. You know how many cars I said, wish I still had it? Oh, there, probably 50 cars I said that.
I saw it's a 70 Cuda six-pack in the Bronx, I think. Wait, no, not in the Bronx. It's on Long Island, sitting in somebody's backyard.
When was this?
Today. I saw it today.
Oh, really?
They went 25 grand for it.
Remember when we bought for $600?
Yep.
71 446 pack Cuda, 4-speed, Dana, everything. Had the louvers, elastomeric
yeah,
bumpers, the whole 10 years, $600.
Mm-hmm.
Those were the days.
You ran your foot over with it.
I ran my foot over. I broke my foot with it.
Yep.
I hate getting run over.
I was pushing the car, and I was used to pushing B bodies. So see, this shows you where.
Put the wheels out to
Okay,
me.
Tula,
I'm
toilet,
used
I'll
to
watch
pushing
that.
B bodies. So the first time I had to push that E body like that, I got my foot stuck under the wheel, and it bent my foot over this way.
Yep, and then you were on crutches,
I was
and
on
you had to
crutches.
do a magazine story. And I had to come carry your camera bags and everything with you. I was pregnant on the starting line. That's
right.
when Garlitz did the
blowover.
the
Garland's
blowover. We were on the starting line and you were
You
on
were there for
crutches.
that?
Yeah, I was pregnant and Garlitz we were on the starting line and that's when he did the blowover
That was,
at Englishtown.
that was 1986.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I was pregnant that summer with Anthony
I was one of the first people up at the car.
on crutches.
Yeah, I made it from the starting
I always
line to
watch
where
the
he was.
video when I see the video come up to see if you can see us and you can't see us.
Yeah.
They don't show like the camera people.
Right, when they show the film of him climbing out of the car,
Yeah.
I was like one of the first. I made it from. He was about 900 feet off the starting line, and I made it ahead of it because we all ran. You know,
You weren't running.
But she was going on. Yeah, I
You were
made
on
it there on
crutches.
crutches ahead of everybody else.
So see, now we know when we owned that car. I have photos of that car. I
Do you?
don't have actual pictures. I've got slides
Mhm.
because you were taking,
Right.
yeah,
You shoot
slide
for
photography
magazine.
for the
Yeah.
magazine. So I have slides that I can get printed, but I wonder if somebody has that car.
That was, you know.
That was a rare car.
Oh, the Cuda.
Yeah, the Cuda's a rare car.
But the
Shape of
Garland,
it.
the Garland's blowover, right? Because anybody who follows drag racing, you've seen the Garland's blowover, right? In Englishtown, that was like the first blowover.
Man.
Nobody knew that was even possible before. And the thing about that is that you can watch it. You can watch the video of it. You can go now, right, and just search Garland's blowover, and you'll see the video of it. The car goes out, and it's carrying wheels like right off the starting line, and as it's going down the track, it goes up and up and up and up and up, and then finally it just blows over, right? So what you see on the video is not what we saw on the starting line. From the starting line, it was the most surreal thing. If I live to be 10,000 years old, I will never forget this, right? Because as we're watching, okay, the car's going down the track, it's going like this, and when it finally stood straight up like this, it broke traction. I don't think he realized how high he was. So he was still on it. And the car disappears in a cloud of smoke. So we don't see anything from the starting line at all. So, and we had never seen a blowover. That was like the first blowover. It was like, holy shit. You know, I mean, previous to that, cars would stand up off the starting line and flip over, but nothing ever went all the way out there and then blew over. So we're watching this happen from the starting line, you know, ground level, and it's like the car just disappears in smoke, and we're like, holy shit, Garlitz has got to be dead, right? So we start running towards the finish line. I dropped my camera, I had the crutches, you know, get up to the starting line, right? Go to the finish line.
I didn't think I went to the finish line because you didn't want me to go in case it was really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed up front. I stayed up front. And you went.
But as we're running towards the finish line, here comes the car out of the smoke.
Yeah.
You remember that? It was
Yeah.
the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's like there's just this wall of smoke. You can't see anything past like the 900-foot mark of the track, right? And then out of this bank of smoke comes Garlitz right at us. And we're like, run!
Run, no run.
Because the car's running, it's still lit, and he's coming towards the starting line. And then he just stopped. But yeah, that was the craziest thing. You can watch the videos, but you really can't appreciate the moment unless you were actually there and you were actually standing on the starting line. It was insane.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets to do that.
No.
Crutch.
And Vodo 66. Okay. 727 trans brake info, how to modify a stock valve body to make my own.
John Wilburn, answer that question, because I cannot answer that question.
Okay, John Wilburn, you can get that one. He maybe did it already, because you were talking for so long. A lot
Oh,
of
I'm sorry.
comments. No, it's okay. You're not supposed to be sorry.
You're supposed to be done.
Yeah, Dickie Frawley, that's right. Uh, Tony, is Top Fuel dying?
It's been dead forever. Do you have any idea who any of the people are who do this stuff? Top Fuel has been dead for 25 years. Top Fuel was dead when I was involved in it.
Let's see. I'm watching the garlets blow over as you talked about it. Cool. We were on the starting line.
Figure out the starting
I
line.
mean, with Tony's broken foot from the 70 Cuda. Six-pack car. Let's see. Just relaxing tonight. Oxygenated fuel for the DART test, please.
We could try that.
You can remember?
Yeah.
Why are there no gears in an automatic transmission?
There are gears.
They left them out. They forgot to put them in.
You forgot?
It's just magic.
Let's see. Nicholas B. just picked up an 88 Thunderbird 5-liter one owner. All stock. What's your opinion?
What is it again?
An
88.
88 Thunderbird 5-liter.
Oh,
one
those are
owner.
great.
All stock. What's your opinion?
Those are great. It's just a big Mustang. It's a long wheelbase Mustang. I love those cars. Those things are pretty cool.
All pump gas is oxygenated. Is it?
No.
Yes,
What
no.
does that mean?
License says hello from London.
What's going on?
What's up, License? Tony, on a 1997 5.2, what is the upper timing gear made of?
On a 1997 Magnum, a 318 Magnum. It's a steel gear. I think I got one laying over there someplace in my Magnum I stripped not too long ago. It's just a steel gear.
Silver Bell, Tony, can you make up for low duration with a lot of lift or low lift with a lot of duration? Is that really how it works?
Wait, one more time?
Can you make up for low duration with a lot of lift or low lift with a lot of duration? Is that really how it works?
No, not really. The lift and duration are two different characteristics of the cam. One is not really a substitute for the other. Lobe separation, you can trick the motor into thinking it has more duration by changing the lobe separation and along the grind, but no.
Cuda 70 KT
You
is...
could do
Oh,
a
sorry.
video on that.
What's that?
One of your weekly videos on cams, lobe separation angle, lift, duration, overlap, all this kind of stuff.
That stuff is already covered so thoroughly.
Yeah, but they're gonna like what you say. I suppose, I don't know. Yeah, you can go to
I'm not gonna be able to say
Comcast.
anything more elaborate or accurate or easy to understand than the videos already
I
out
guess.
there. So I try to stick with things that are a little bit more obscure.
And Comcast has a good page in there that tells you
Sure.
a lot.
Cuda 70 GT is saying, during the Garlets blowover, were you on the right or left side of the track? I'm looking for a guy on crutches.
Left side. And I
We
was
were
wearing a
on
red
the-
Hawaiian shirt.
We were on the, you remember what shirt you were wearing?
Yeah.
We weren't on the pit side, we were on the other side.
No, we were on the pit side.
Are you sure?
Positive.
No, we weren't.
I remember the exact position I was standing in.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Maybe you moved to the pit side.
You might have been on the.
I think I was on the other
you were on
side.
the
We
other
were,
side.
because we were originally on spectator side.
Yeah, we started on the spectator side, but I was on the pit side. You had Daryl Gwynn was in the other lane.
Okay. But I swear I was standing next to you when it happened.
No, you were standing.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I may have been on the spectator side.
You were on the
You
spectator
went
side. I
across,
was on, right,
hobbled across.
Right.
And I stayed there with your equipment.
right.
Okay, that's what happened. Yeah, you can't see this though. I don't think. UTG, looking to pick up a Mercury Cougar. Any tips or major mechanical issues to look at?
Here.
Yeah, the Cougar was so many different Cougars.
Yeah, really, no shit. Ask that question again, and I'm sure somebody who has direct experience with that car will give you an answer.
No, he did not, Mopar Den.
What's that?
He says Dave McClellan mentioned Uncle Tony's garage in the Gauntlet's blowover clip. He was a foreseer of the future. He did not.
Actually, Steve Evans was in the tower that day.
It's amazing, something like that happens, you remember all the details.
You remember what shirt you were wearing?
I remember, yeah, I'm telling you.
I don't
because
remember what I was wearing. I was pregnant, so.
I don't get scared very often. I don't get scared very often. It takes a lot to like fucking, for me to say, right? But when that car started coming at us out of the smoke, I was like, you know what I mean? So I just, it's implanted in my head. I just remember it like it was an hour ago.
What's the best forums or websites for Mopar engine builds and full car builds?
Oh,
Forums.
The best technical form, all-around technical form, is Facebook only, if you ask me. You know, and I sold, you know, I sold parts on that forum for about 10 years. But it's not just for, I mean, yeah, the name of the site is for everybody's only, but you'll find any technical question you have, somebody has covered it there. The forums are really good there.
Yeah, your face is really dark, Tony. The
Is it?
lighting in here is terrible tonight. Push your hat back. It's shadowing you. Oh, look how handsome you are. Let's see. 66 salvage restoration speech up. PUTG, hope is all is well. And then tires are kicking as well. Best wishes always from 66 salvage restoration speech up from Clinton, Illinois.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can you roll a cigarette while driving?
Do it all day, every day.
All day.
All day.
All day, just rolls cigarettes and drives.
The car knows the way.
So Mopar Den says,
Wheel, I gotta roll a cigarette.
so I just bought a VW Squareback. How about a
Oh, cool.
VW air cool build?
If somebody brings me one, yeah, I mean, I haven't touched the Volkswagen.
I like those cars.
I love those cars.
The squarebacks and the fastbacks, remember those?
Yep.
Curtis says, don't try to punk Uncle Crystal. She's smarter than all of you put together.
That's why we keep her down. That's why we keep her
So
down.
she doesn't take
So
over.
she doesn't take over.
Yeah.
She's taken over our other channel, though, which is called Ask Uncle Tony. It's really gonna, it should be Uncle Crystal's playground.
But she didn't do a video today.
She didn't, we were supposed to do a video, but she's busy.
I looked, and she didn't do a video.
She's taking care of business.
But I looked and you did a video, so I watched it.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was yesterday, but I saw it today. Okay.
Let's see. Oops, hang on. A buddy had a 68 VW SB when I was in high school. Rode that everywhere. Good times. Laugh out loud, hazard pay. What, for Uncle Crystal?
Nice, simple design, yeah? And I can shim it with washers if I need height difference.
Kurt says this is more entertaining than Sunday Night Football. Do they still play that?
Sports ball, yeah.
They
I
still
think-
play football? Okay, cool, zero. Yeah, she didn't have your size. Let's see, Rich, Uncle Tony. When you have built an engine, calculated your static dynamic compression, establish your quench/squish degree your cam, do you check your cranking pressure to choose total
Total
timing? Yeah.
No.
Tongue
No,
twister.
I generally just start everything at like 32 total and then play around with it from there. Except slants. A slant, I'll start at 28 total.
Oscar Pons says 66 Fairlane, our first project for my 14-year-old and I, learning much. Thanks.
Nice.
Very cool. Good luck with it. Tony on crutches with a Hawaiian shirt. Laugh my ass off. Well, it was the 80s, Dean Metal.
I lived in
He
Hawaiian
lived in
shirts.
Hawaiian
Yeah,
shirt.
it's all I had was Hawaiian shirts.
Let's see. Well, you have to go to the office. So you had
Well, I
to,
was an automotive journalist.
right,
at the
put
time,
clothes
right.
on.
So I had to wear shirts with buttons.
I think
to
of
be
the stuff I
respectable,
used
so-
to wear. Gee. What the hell was wrong with me? I used to wear, like in the 70s, I had bell bottoms that were
Oh, by the
big
way,
around in my waist.
I
man.
remembered I was wearing that red shirt because there's a different film of that incident. There's the one that's very common, but there's a different film of that incident where you can actually see me standing on the starter.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm at the very front, so it's like there's like all of there was like
Can you
only-
see me?
No,
Aw,
no. There's like 15, 18 photographers all gathered at the starting line, and I was the furthest down track, so I stood out like a...
okay.
So you're the guy with the crutches.
And the red Hawaiian
I don't think I
shirt.
was standing there with crutches. I think the crutches were laying off to the side.
Yeah, you put them down so you
Yeah.
could take pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
What film did you use? Were you? I remember everything was slide film for anything that was.
Black and white, we used to use a Tri-X,
Okay, I
And-
used that.
and color,
Was it Ektachrome?
Ektacom.
Yeah, that's. And then digital came around
You
and I
old.
forgot it all. I just forgot it all.
I'm almost old enough for cave paintings. We used to use berries.
Remember those flash bulbs
Berries.
on the cameras?
Oh, sure, instamatic flash bulbs.
Oh God, yeah, they were good for one. Whoop, they're gone.
Yeah.
It's like a fuse. It's just gone.
It was a lot of work taking pictures back in the day.
Oh,
Yeah, it
and
was.
then processing. And
It's amazing we got any pictures at all, come to think of
I
it.
worked in a darkroom for a while.
Chris says, I'm looking at a 69 Mercury Cougar, 70 Cougar. A guy in my area claims to have an eliminator in a barn.
Nice.
Let's see.
69 and 70s. It's like a modification of the original Cougar. It's like a Mustang. Pretty nice car.
Could you do a go-kart / small engine build one day? I want to see you
Oh,
really some
yeah.
poor financial choices.
For the
We
Yeah.
do that every day.
for the mini bike.
Last week, my friend Breon, during the live, gave me this mini bike over here. And, I'm definitely gonna do some small engine stuff.
Let's see. Olive says, when I was a chick growing up in an 80s movie, I used to like to take my duster inside and polish that beige paint till gleaming before a snowstorm. Then. Interested in a selector shaft seal replacement trick.
Trick?
Yeah, trick.
I don't know about a trick, you gotta drop the valve body.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a way, or maybe John Wilburn knows a better way, but I've always just dropped the valve body.
Rampant SGV says, hey gang, what are some 80s and 90s Mopar sleepers that you think have potential?
80s or 90s Mopar sleepers that have potential.
Remember the Dodge Mirada?
Those are good cars. My friend Paul Antonis has one.
I think it's a decent looking car, and you can put a small block in it. It'll
Yeah.
go right in.
You know what my favorite car from that era is? The St. Regis.
Oh, big four door.
Do you remember those?
Oh, the California Highway Patrol had them. I was in
I
California.
love those
That's
cars.
right. You look in the mirror looking for those.
People talk about, four doors, right? No, that's the perfect example of
Well, that was
the car.
that was the four door,
Yeah.
and the Mirada was the two door. Built them at the same time, did they?
Different wheelbase.
Oh yeah, but I mean they built them at the same time.
Yeah.
One was the four door, and the other was the two door.
Those are extinct. Like literally, they're completely extinct. I would love to have one of those cars.
Lunar Outlaws Garage says, Tony, I'd like to give you a heads up that
Yeah,
the
hey.
318 will be heading up to Nick's as soon as next week. Thank you for all the work you put into the engine. God bless everyone from upstate New York.
Good luck with that,
Hey,
man.
cool.
Let's see.
I hope you changed the cam.
Let's see. Toast. I'd love to see you build a GY6 engine.
Wait.
What?
If Luna's on here,
Okay.
right? Two things, right? First, I hope you changed the cam. And I'm gonna say that one more time. I hope you changed the cam. Also, right? That difference in height of the push rods that we talked about, the oil bleed off. I know you get your pressure up because of the bearing issue. I know all about that. But you still need to restrict the oil to the top end. Once you get on a dyno, the motor's over, let's say, over like 4,000, 5,000, in that range, it's gonna be pumping way too much oil to the top end. And the reason for that is because, A, you're gonna have a little bit extra leakage through the push rods, but we never blocked off the oil passage to the head. So if you've got push rods, if you've got a system that's oiling through the push rods, and you've also got the original oil passage that goes to the rockers in the head, at higher RPM, you're gonna be filling the valve covers with oil. Just keep that in mind, but good luck with it.
He says, yes, big thanks from John for paying for the new cam.
We'll get John coming again.
Let's see. Tell Tony to get Brian from Throne Wrench Garage to come back to do live soon.
I haven't seen him in forever. Yeah, but Brian McMahon shift.
He lives in Kentucky.
Yeah, I haven't seen him probably in about 6 months or so. I haven't heard from him, but I got to touch base with him. Yeah, he's a great guy.
We're not very far from Kentucky.
He's 100 miles to my front door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm right by Kentucky and I'm 84 miles, so that's still pretty close.
Northern Grit says, what do you think about Edelbrock merging with Comcams?
I didn't even know that they were.
I didn't know that.
Edelbrock's more, you mean Comcams is being absorbed by Edelbrock, right? Between Edelbrock and Holly, you've got the world, right? I don't know.
I don't know either. Let's see. I started reading Toast's comment and now I lost it. So Toast, if you want to comment again, I'm sorry. What is your opinion on the 351 Cleveland?
What's not to like? I mean, it's a great motor.
You know what surprises me is the Cleveland and Windsor are around at the same time, but the Windsor seems to be, I mean, everybody wanted Cleveland's back then, but the Windsor seems to be the one that came out of all this, that you can buy all kinds of stuff for it.
Well, it's because of the 5.0. The popularity.
I guess.
The popularity of the 5.0 just kind of eclipsed all of the earlier small blocks. Well, Ford small blocks.
Because I had Windsors, and I'm just surprised that happened.
But I do know that inch for inch, pound for pound, the 3 inch for inch, pound for pound, the 351 Cleveland is the strongest small inch motor. Who was this now? This was it Glidden? I don't remember.
Oh, it's a hell of an engine.
Somebody that was very involved in the R&D type of thing, racing development in the 70s declared, and it might have been Glidden, I'm not sure, but the 351 Cleveland, inch for inch, pound for pound, was the strongest aspirated engine that they had come across.
Dickie Foley says, to tell you also that Brian is 44 subscribers away from 1,000. Maybe you can put in a word for him.
He can put in a word for himself?
Throne Wrench Garage. Go over there. Check it out. Yeah, I don't know. He hasn't been on. Let's see. 68 Fury 3. Just put new fuel pump in. Accidentally hit the positive on alternator. I got no power to start it.
You burned
Nothing
up your fusible
works
link.
in the answer.
You burned up your fusible link. Check the wire that goes between the starter relay and the bulkhead connector in the firewall.
Let's see. What do you think about people bragging how their $550 double pumper makes 10 extra horsepower at 7,000 RPM over a $350 Edelbrock?
That's not fair. That's not fair.
Oh my neck.
Okay. And going by like-sized carburetors, 600 Holly outflows a 600 Edelbrock by about 25 CFM. And this is coming from somebody, I prefer Carter Edelbrock style carburetors for street cars. But once you get past that limit of, let's say, the 750 or the 800 CFM Edelbrock or AFB style carburetor, the Holly has it all over. If you're really making any type of street horsepower, the 850 Holly, the 950, those are far superior to the Edelbrocks. If you're talking about a 300 horsepower, street car driver, daily driver type of car, then no question about it, the Edelbrock is the way to go. They're simple, they're infinitely tunable, they're bulletproof carburetors. But once you cross that line where you're leaning on a carburetor to actually make power, no, the Holly's got it all over.
Thanks, Dickie Farley. Wayne says, interesting selector shaft seal replacement trick.
Yeah, you said that already.
Yeah, you don't have one?
I don't have one.
No.
I don't have one.
Okay.
When I need to change that, I drop the valve body and change the seal.
Chill Bill says, I have a 1980 Plymouth Volare with a
Oh,
225.
wait a second, wait a second.
Oh, wait, you do?
He's not
Hang on,
specifying-
Chill Bill.
He's not specifying the transmission. I'm assuming you're talking about torque flight. But there's also the Ford transmissions and the General Motors transmissions. So do you have any tricks for changing the selector shift seal on the Turbo 350, Turbo 400? No.
No.
C4, C6,
Never had a
FMX?
problem.
No. Sorry, guys.
Okay, Chill Bill says, I have a 1980 Plymouth Volare with a 225 slant 6 4-barrel intake, 390 CFM Holly, and hooker headers. What do you think?
Needs cam. No question about it, it's gonna need cam. Really needs head work too. It's hard to make power with a slant 6, it really is. I mean, you got the easy bolt-on parts, but to get that thing to where it's actually gonna make 175 horsepower, 180 horsepower like that is like, you got it, you need cam and really bulwark. The slant 6 head is not, the way it's cast in the factory, is not happy making horsepower.
Gypsy J Ride says, if you're not building a numbers matching car, is it better to just do an LS swap regardless of brand?
I don't believe in crossbreeding, but that's just me. How do you feel about that?
Depends on the car. Say like my Studebaker, for example. I've got that small block Chevy for it.
Right.
So in a way, that's a crossbreed. But the last 2 years of Studebaker Lark, they put small block Chevys in them, so
Right.
they pretty much bolt in.
Well, see, a Studebaker, I would LS swap a Studebaker. I wouldn't.
And then an LS is like something newer, small block Chevy. That would be kind of.
I would LS swap anything that's obscure. Okay. So let's say you're doing a 58 Oldsmobile. You know what I mean, or something like that, or a Studebaker, or a Packard. I mean, something along those lines. Yeah, man, LS swap the hell out of it. Go for it. But once you get into the muscle car era, the more common era cars, let's say from 1964 to the 80s.
Yeah, don't mess that up.
Don't mess that up, man. It's just,
It's too good the way it is.
yeah, you're building a Chrysler, stick with the Chrysler motor, stick a Hemi in there. You're building a GM car, throw an LS in it, and then Ford's got all of its various great motors. So, no, I don't agree with LS swap and everything. But I do like LS motors. I have nothing against LSs.
Joe
The only reason
Jackson,
I go to LS Fest every year. The only reason I didn't go this year was because of the mask bullshit.
Joe Jackson says, were you on Gwynn's side or Garlett's side? There are a lot of red shirts on Gwynn's side. I was on the spectator side.
Yeah, I was on the pit side.
Are you sure you were on the pit
Oh.
side? You weren't next to me?
No, I was on the pit side and I was standing at the very front row of,
Didn't you just, so you crossed over and I stood there by myself?
yes.
Because I don't remember crossing over. But I could have sworn you were standing next to me.
No.
Okay. I don't know, Joe Jackson. It was a long time ago. All right. I need an ASMR channel. What is that?
What is it?
I have no
What
idea.
did he say?
I don't know what it means. I shouldn't read things that I don't know what they mean.
Well, that's what happens when you're reading this stuff.
Yeah,
It
you're
just comes up and you
scrolling
read
and you're
it.
just like kind of reading haphazardly. UTG, gotta ask, have you ever cemented a big block for drag racing? Might be a good vid.
I mean, I have.
What's that? Where you fill it in so it's.
DevCon. It's not cement. It's not actual cement. Don't try to use actual cement because it'll crack and break up.
It gets rid of the water, the cooling.
It stiffens the bottom end of the block,
Okay.
right? If you're making more horsepower than I think it's supposed to make, it stiffens up everything at the bottom end of the motor. Keeps the cylinder walls from
It's
just.
like a Donovan block where there's no water passages. It's just
Yeah,
salt.
yeah, and you can
Okay.
half fill them. The common thing is to half fill them so you can keep the oil passage going. But the material you use, it's bowling ball, but it's actually bowling ball material. And they used to be sold under the name DevCon.
Dalton
I
Racing
remember.
wants to know, are platinum/iridium plugs worth the money?
I don't use them because I don't have anything that's gonna go 100,000 miles on a set of plugs. I don't want anything that's gonna go 100,000 miles on a set of plugs, so I just stick with your basic garden variety auto lights.
You wanna know how stupid I am?
Sure.
I got a Ford van
Yeah,
with a, whatever the hell it is, 4.6.
yeah.
It's got 327,000 miles on it. Original plugs. I'm afraid to unscrew them because.
I would be afraid to unscrew them.
But it runs perfectly. You saw it?
Yeah. Well, those are the good plugs.
Those are the good
original-
plugs.
yeah.
327,000 miles on
There's
a
your,
set
there
of
you go.
plugs.
There's your testimony. If you're going for long mileage, that's what you're concerned with, excuse me, then yeah, absolutely, they're worth the money.
Mountain Racing says which motor? For a Mark V Continental, 460 or 400 with the aluminum Aussie heads, Dart or AFR or trick flow?
Oh, I would use the 460. I couldn't give you a recommendation on the heads. I couldn't give you a recommendation on the heads. The weight of the sheer tonnage of a car like that, I would be very concerned with the low RPM capabilities of the head. So I wouldn't be going for anything with giant ports and giant valves.
Oh, grade 0, thanks.
That's what he said.
No, nothing, he's just telling me what that meant.
What is
Oh,
it?
the one you started reading?
Mm-hmm.
That I didn't hear what it was.
See,
You stopped.
I don't want to say I'm naive, but I am.
I didn't even want to know. I didn't want to know.
Yeah, no, you don't want to know. No, I'm silent.
We all sit here speculating.
Sit here
about
in
what this could
silence.
possibly be.
Is that rebar holding that hood open?
Yeah, that's
So you
rebar.
got the whole car lighting and then you got a piece of rebar. in it.
Well, it doesn't stay with the car.
Okay, well what happens if you're somewhere and you gotta open the hood? Now you don't have your rebar. You
Well,
want aluminum tube? I'll get you aluminum tube.
It's a track only car.
Okay.
There's no
Okay, so
streamability whatsoever.
so that piece of rebar stays in the pits.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
throw the rebar in the car.
Matthew Labor says, love the energy tonight. Very interesting topics, especially the Hawaiian shirt story.
Cool.
Okay.
When was that? You were wearing Hawaiian shirts?
Middle 80s.
Middle 80s.
I still have them.
Yeah. Actually, I'm wearing it. If you get a copy of Cars Illustrated magazine, there is an ad that was run like in almost every issue
Thanks,
of Cars
Zero.
Illustrated. Was it the back page? It was like the back page, and it's me wearing that red Hawaiian shirt, and Jim Cosks dressed up as Mr. Spock, and yeah, it was a weird thing, man. There was a lot of weirdness that happened back then. And the Death Lizard SS was a magazine project car.
1986 was the year, right? Yeah,
86.
86.
I was doing Cars Illustrated. I was doing a bunch of magazines at the time, but Cars Illustrated was the one that we were.
How'd you get started in magazines?
I woke up one day and looked at, and I said, I'm gonna write for
Okay, Jerry,
magazines.
thank you.
That was it. I mean, and
I
then you
swear
went
to God.
after it, and then you just went after it.
There's my witness. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Okay. I woke up one morning. I got my first job, real job, right, at a Chrysler dealer as a mechanic, as a tech, right, and it lasted exactly 2 weeks because I don't play well with others, right. Like previous to that, I had jobs where I was kind of like left to my own devices. Just do what you got to do, right.
Yeah, get job done.
But it was the first job that I had, and it lasted exactly
You had
2
to
weeks.
play all the games.
I had to play, and I was like,
Yeah,
no,
it's
this is
not
not
fun.
for me, right.
Not fun.
So I was fixing cars. We had an apartment in a Jewish neighborhood. Right? We were the only. We used to have to shut everybody's lights off. Remember that? On
Yes,
Friday-
sometimes, yeah.
So I was the token goy in an all Jewish neighborhood, and I used to fix their cars in our apartment's driveway, and I woke up one morning and there was a copy of Muscle Car magazine sitting on top of the TV, and I looked at the magazine and I says, you know what? I'm going to write for the magazines. So I had no idea even where it was published or anything. So I opened up the magazine. I saw it was published in Hackensack, New Jersey, which is only about a half hour away. And I called the number on the masthead, and I said, I want to write for you guys. And they were like, do you have any writing experience? And I was like, well, no. Well, do you have any journalistic background? And I says, no. So they were like, well, what do you do? So I says, well, I'm a mechanic and I'm a street racer. And they were like, that sounds interesting. Come by, and we'll, right?
Okay.
So the next, I think it was that afternoon, right? Was it that afternoon?
Yeah, I think
That
so.
afternoon, I jump in a car and I run over to the office in Hackensack, New Jersey, and I meet the editor of Muscle Car magazine. So he says, well, you can't write and you have no experience, but can you read? I says, yeah, I can read really good. He says, well, we need a technical editor. We need somebody who can read through manuscripts and make corrections.
So it doesn't look
Yeah.
stupid.
So I says, I'm on. I says, I'm your boy. So they I think they paid me like $300 a week, whatever it was. And I was the official technical editor.
But that was our rent,
right? You remember?
$300 a month.
I was the technical editor. I touched you again.
Studio apartment in New York.
For Vet, Pontiac, Muscle Car, High Performance, Vet, Pontiac, Muscle Car, and Cars Illustrated. And then right after soon after that, we started High Performance Mopar. I was the Mopar head. So after about 2 weeks or so of reading through other people's stuff and making corrections,
There was no Cars Illustrated in the beginning.
Yeah,
You
there
made
wasn't.
that later.
no.
Oh,
Cars
it was a
Illustrated
different Cars
one
Illustrated.
issue of Cars
Okay.
Illustrated had come out before I got there.
Okay.
So I had been reading through other people's stories and making mistakes, making corrections and so on and so forth. And we did all this with pen and paper at the time, right? There was no, it was
Like
before
cavemen.
computers, like cavemen, right? So I says, you know what? I could just write this stuff. This is no problem. So I just started writing technical stories, whatever the topic happened to be. Somebody would send in a story about, let's just for the sake of carburetor tuning, right? And I'd be like, this is bullshit. I mean, I'd toss the manuscript and just write my own, hand that in.
Fix it by fixing it, yeah.
So within, I want to say like 2 months of the time I decided I wanted to be in the magazine business to actually being a full-time automotive journalist was about 2 months. And
So they liked your corrections when you corrected the whole thing?
well, the thing was,
Or they didn't know you were doing that?
everybody in the magazines had come through like magazines and wanted to be writers. So they went to journalist this and they did that and they did whatever the fuck it is that they do. You want to be a writer. I never wanted to be a writer. It never even crossed my mind to be a writer. So because I had hands-on experience, I was able to write stuff off the top of my head. I didn't have to research.
But you're a naturally good writer.
Well, it's because I don't know how to write. I write the way I
Right.
talk. It's conversational.
But it's very easy for you. Like you can blow out stuff really, really quickly.
Well, that was it. You see, like, so let's say you're a journalist or you're a magazine journalist, and somebody says, do a story on cylinder head basics. Well, you got to talk. You got to call this expert. You got to talk to that one. It takes you a while because you have to learn.
And
all
then you
these
make
things.
all the mistakes.
I was doing these off the top of my head. I'd sit down for 20 minutes.
I read stuff, and I know on the internet now, and I know it's somebody that's never, it's like
Right.
from like an internet magazine or something, and I know the person's never had their hands on the thing they're talking about. Right away, I know that.
At my peak, when we were doing Cars Illustrated and those magazines, I was working for CSK and then later Harris, I was doing one, because we did a bunch of different magazines, I was doing one full feature a day. Like every day, I'd wake up in the morning and bang out a full feature, whatever happened to be, a 3-4 page, thing.
But when you write, that's not natural. That's not normal. That's how people don't write like that.
And the funny thing is, I still don't know how to type,
I know.
right? I type everything like this, right? I know you're supposed to put your fingers here, I did everything like this, and I was doing one full feature a day, and then I would generally do like a car feature or something.
That's how I learned to type, picking. And then I learned that I could use different fingers in it. So somebody watches me type, I look foolish, but I'm fast and I don't make a lot of mistakes.
Here's the funny thing with this, right?
Same shit.
I had been doing it for about 6 months. I was like on the payroll, right? And now because I was cranking out material so fast, they kept adding more magazines. So I was doing new car buyer's guides, monster truck books. I mean, like, you fucking name it. And they're throwing all this stuff at me. And I'm making like $300 a week. And I'm like, this ain't gonna work.
This ain't gonna work.
This ain't gonna work, right? So I got up from my desk. I'll never forget this, right? The Steve Schneider was the publisher, right? And his office was down the hallway. And I says, that's it, I'm done, right? I quit. So I got up, and I went over to Steve, and I said, Steve, I quit. He says, you can't quit. What do you, he says, what do you need? So I says, no, you don't understand, man, I'm not, no way, right? I says, pay me like you pay, I'm a freelancer now. I says, I'm not on your staff. You don't give me a paycheck anymore. Now you pay me like a freelancer. So I went back to my desk, and I just finished the story that I was working on, and from that point I got paid as a freelancer, and I was making ungodly money, like for the period of
Because you
time.
got paid for the article.
I quadrupled my fucking
I
income.
remember Kid Blanks magazine.
I quit my job, went back to my desk, and quadrupled my income.
Man.
It's funny.
Yeah, I read something for Kid Blanks magazine. It was just like a gift to him. He sent me a check. It was pretty good. But damn.
So somebody's deleting, Wayne was getting his comments deleted, and Fubar says, Wayne, it said Google team deleted your comment. Is Google team watching a live?
Google team?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
the hell? I have no idea what
That's
that's
what it
about.
said, Google moderator team.
There's no such thing as a Google moderator
That's
team.
what Fubar said.
There's somebody has hacked us.
How?
I don't know. They do things. They're hackers.
Have you ever had anybody mess with your, maybe I shouldn't ask you on here, your numbers, like your number of views? Like all of a sudden your number of views cuts in half on a video?
I've had that happen. We've had.
I have a
we've
friend
had-
that's just started, and he's really doing well, getting some views, and all of a sudden he's got like 36 views on a video that was doing well. I go, what the hell happened? He's like, I don't know. You know?
Yeah, it's.
426 Biggie says Google has been infiltrating a lot of streams across the board.
Has it?
I guess so, maybe. Yeah.
Man.
Depending on what people are talking about. We're talking about cars, Google. Yeah, never saw that before, Fubar said. I don't know. Let's see.
Did anybody catch what the comment happened to be?
It wasn't anything. I don't know. It was Wayne Ferguson's comment. It wasn't anything inappropriate.
Wayne, make the comment again.
Let's see.
Wow, I want to see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, I do it twice.
Exit Tony. Let's see. It won't let us see it. Oh, Fubar says it won't let him see the comment. That's weird. I don't know.
Wayne, make the comment, but misspell the words. Let's see what.
426 Biggie says, I was on a stream the other night. I made a comment, then some took my name and started commenting their own stuff. Then when I went to comment, my name was changed more than once. Very strange.
Yeah, that has happened on our streams before also, but nothing
That's
like
hack,
this.
that's hack.
Wayne.
It's a channel also, only 32 subs. So, I don't know.
Wayne, make that same comment again, but misspell the words, and let's see what that was all about.
It's weird. How can a channel be hacked? That doesn't make
I
sense.
don't know. I'm just a humble auto mechanic.
Yak Sipper's comment just got deleted. It was political. Tula Toilet says it was political. I don't know.
Well, whatever it is, misspell it, and let's see what it was.
I don't know.
What time is it?
9:29.
Wow, we're at it for 2.5 hours already.
YouTube has a crazy filter, John Wilburn saying. I don't know. If there's any profanity, they will demonetize you.
No, that's not entirely
That's
true.
not
Yeah.
entirely true.
Conversational profanity is okay. They'll let that slip through. When you go out of your way,
Calling somebody some bunch of string of names, that kind of thing.
yeah, or you're using it for shock value, or then it's one thing. But if he and I are having a conversation, I said, "Did you see that fucking thing?" They don't care about that. They care about it's
They
like
don't want it in the beginning of videos.
they don't want it. Yeah, they don't want it in the beginning of videos. They don't want it in thumbnails. They don't want it in titles.
Titles.
They're not bad with it. They're reasonable. They're the only thing I can say.
I don't know. He didn't
Wow.
re-comment, so I don't know.
But we're gonna wrap it up soon. We're going on 2.5 hours here.
You know what you have in here?
No.
Coke machine.
Because there's no
I
bathrooms
don't have
here.
room for a
Why would I have a Coke machine?
Oh, let's see. What's a better engine for a pickup truck? A 4390, 410, or a Buick 401 Wildcat?
What kind of pickup? Well, it's not a Buick pickup. Must be a Ford. I don't know.
I mean, the Buick's a great torque motor, but I mean, is it worth the hassle to swap something like that in? Use, I don't know.
Sierra says it looks like a thing and somehow also not a thing. Check it out for yourself after. Weird. I don't know.
See, Ford 390s, they were everywhere, but now, can you even
No.
find one?
Rambrute, no, we didn't block you. People are asking if they're getting blocked.
Yeah, we've got somebody screwing around with us here.
How?
I don't know, but they're doing it.
I don't know. Frank, I'll hack your live stream. I don't think so.
Was it?
Just ignore me. I'm not ignoring you, Monty. Let's see.
So we're in a lull here.
We are in a
Still
lull.
staring at this.
I did a good
So
job on that.
what RPM range is this thing gonna get power, and what's it designed for here?
You have Rambrute? I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
It'll probably shut off like somebody pulled the plug out of the
I don't
socket
hate
at about
Monty.
5,500, 5,800.
I don't hate anybody.
So it's a mid-range
Yeah.
kind of.
It's a terrible cylinder head. It's a terrible cylinder head. Let me, I cannot
It's
stress
industrial.
this enough.
It's industrial looking.
It is the Slate 6 is a terrible cylinder head. That's the best I could possibly do with it.
The Duke of
And it's
5A
still gonna
sent you
suck.
$5.
Thank you, sir.
Ever see yourself building a stroke big block with an aftermarket crank, something like a 4.25-inch crank in a 400B?
I mean, I have all this stuff to build a stroker at the house. We just haven't gotten there yet because again, I said this, I think, on the last live stream. We started this channel to go after the really simple, really affordable, attainable, basic things. And that's why we've stuck to like Slate 6s, 318s, now we're doing a 383. We will get to the more exotic stuff down the road. For right now, we're gearing our material for people who have some experience, but not a lot of experience, have some money, but not a lot of money, have some resources to work on their cars, shop space or whatever, but not a lot. And so we're keeping everything in that simple, cheap, attainable zone. We'll do exotic stuff. God knows I've done exotic stuff, but that's down the road.
Nick says 67 Plymouth Belvedere 2-barrel completely stock. What brand carb, and can I get a rebuild kit?
Is it a 318?
Doesn't say. I'm guessing 2-barrel.
Okay, if it's a 2-barrel, if it's 318, it's a Carter BBD, and yeah, you can get rebuild kits everywhere for that. And if it's a big block, if it's a 361 or a 383 2-barrel, it's going to have a Holly, which is a 435 CFM 2-barrel. And yeah, you could that you may have that might be a little difficult to get parts for. Might be a little bit difficult to get parts for. But if it's a 318, or 273 or 318, and it's got the BBD, yeah, parts are easy.
Axion says, love the channel, first time tuning into live stream. Just got a 1982 Vet with a built 350 roller cam and a 200 R4 trans. Blocking down the whole car for paint this week.
Ah,
Good luck
excellent.
with paint.
I've been honing my paint skills, and they're terrible. You know, this dart's gonna be the next thing we paint.
Oh my goodness, what is going on? Let's see. I replaced Selector Chef Seal 904 by knocking a small hole in its steel edge and screwing a length of flat steel to it to pop it out in car. This is Wayne Ferguson.
Okay. And that's the comment that got deleted?
I have no idea. That wouldn't make sense.
Gee,
Those comments are
somebody
not
didn't understand what that was about.
I don't know, for all of the work, I mean, you got such a jammed up workspace there, isn't it easier just to drop the pan and pop the valve body out? and it's done.
Okay. Acid dip the fender's hood and deck lid on the Plan Z.
No, this stuff is already pretty tan light. All of the bracings that are cut out of the fenders and everything. Actually, I guarantee the fender doesn't weigh any more, the fenders that are on that car don't weigh any more than fiberglass.
Are we going to Carlisle this upcoming year?
Not if this mask bullshit, I'm not going.
Yeah.
We didn't go to Carlisle for the same reason. I have not worn a mask since this thing started, and I ain't about to do it.
Yeah, you did.
For the one video.
The one video.
It was-
With
it
the
wasn't-
tinfoil hat and the mask?
Right, yeah, but that was before any of this became a thing.
That was at the beginning.
Yeah,
I saw that, I was like,
That was before people were putting masks on.
right.
Yeah. Rambrut says, ask UT how much horsepower he can make out of a 318.
I have no idea.
Please.
I have no idea. We're gonna find out.
My neck is starting to hurt from reading. I want to know what he thinks. Yeah, he doesn't know, Rambrut.
I don't know.
Doesn't know. Okay, I'm really stiff.
All right, yeah,
I'm
we're gonna
locking
knock
up
it out.
over here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else, guys? Quick. Can you run nitromethane on a stock engine and can it survive?
They ran nitromethane on stock 392 Hemis for years and in stock 426 Hemis for years. You know, those engines didn't really become specialized until like the middle 60s, like 67, 68, 69. And aluminum blocks didn't become available until 1972 with the Donovan and in 1973 with the Mylodon and then the KB for the 426 style motors. So yeah, absolutely. The first top fuel car in the fives, the unofficial one was Tommy Ivo ran a 599 at Maple Grove, and that was with a stock bore, stock stroke, stock block 426 Hemi, and it was done before the good block came out in later 1970. And the first official NHRA 5-second quarter mile time was Mike Snively. And that was a stock bore, stock stroke, all iron, obviously, 392 Hemi. So, yeah, absolutely.
Robert Murphy says, if the Slant 6 was such a great motor, why do you think they stopped making it?
Well, I mean, it just outlived the vehicles that it was designed to be in. It just wasn't a practical thing anymore.
yeah, it's not gonna go in a late model front car.
Yeah. And it was designed, like I said, in 1958 with minimal, you know, I mean, there was very little known. It was still the experimental stage of engine development.
This was great when it came
Well,
out.
it was
Look
awesome when it came
look
out.
what it replaced.
Yeah, but it was a Briggs & Stratton by the time 1987 rolled around.
Right, it replaced a flathead, heavy 6-cylinder engine.
Right.
And they needed a good engine for the Valiant.
Yeah.
And it went, how long did they produce this? 30-something years?
1960 to 1987. 27 years.
27 years? And then some more years, another, South American?
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Michael Lee says, do you know of any aftermarket body parts manufacturer for 67 Plymouth Valiant, like side glass and floor pans?
Say that one more time?
Aftermarket stuff, 67 Valiant.
Yeah, side glass
What-
and floor
what-
pans.
No, you got a problem with that. If it's a two-door Valiant, it's the same roof as a four-door, so it has taller door glass. The rear quarter glass on those cars, on the sedans, the two-door sedans, 67 through 69, is impossible. You cannot find, when I was in the parts business, once a month I get somebody calling me up looking for side glass for those cars. The windshield and the back windshield are the same as a four-door.
When did they start curving the glass? The side glass. You know, the side glass is flat, and then some of them, they start to curve it.
They started out with the Duster,
Okay, so like the 67 through 9 darts are flat?
flat.
Okay, so you can have glass made for that, right?
Yeah,
And then sheet metal, just gotta learn how to make sheet metal. I don't know.
Torgo 63 sent you $13.37.
thank you.
He says,
It's exactly how much I needed.
love the channel. Would totally be willing to pay $10 for a PPV on a 383 blindfolded build.
I'm dying to do that. I'm dying to do that. We're gonna, I mean, obviously, I'll do a little prep work, you know, so I can see. So I'll check measurements and all that other stuff. But when it comes time to actually assemble the motor, we're gonna lay everything out on this bench, just like this. I'm gonna put a blindfold on and we're gonna assemble the motor.
Sorry, I'm yawning, guys. Can you give me a big roll up your windows?
Roll up your windows!
Let's see. Which motor for the Mark V Continental? Did you do this one already?
Yeah.
Okay. Only the employees had masks on at Carlisle, Nicholas is saying.
From what I understood, they
You
weren't
had
gonna let you in
to have
without a
it to
mask.
get in.
Yeah,
Let's see.
that's enough to stop me in my tracks. I don't go anywhere, I gotta wear a mask.
How's the duster running?
I couldn't get it started. It was gonna take,
Park on a hill.
it's in my backyard, and I haven't moved it since the day after we painted it. And I wanted to take it yesterday when we were gonna go over to my friend Brian's house to shoot his GLH. And I wanted to take that, and I went in the backyard and cranked it, and the battery went dead. So right now it's not running. Tomorrow I'll do a battery charger on it and get it started.
You grab
Dances
cars you
with,
had to park on a hill?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Dances with Empty sent you $5 Canadian.
Thank you.
They're laughing at you. Let's see. How did you meet Gary Donovan? You never met him.
I've never met him. We talked.
Talked to him.
Yeah, I've talked to him, but we've never met.
Okay.
I just contacted him when I saw this was I don't know, probably 10 years ago or better. Just when I saw the videos of that car, I was blown away. I love that car, and I contacted him. I think on Facebook we talked.
Okay. Let's see. Anybody else getting deleted by Google? They're talking to each other. I'm scrolling through. Can you do a breakdown video of the Garlitz race?
Breakdown video of the car. Let's say.
I don't know. The blowover? I don't know.
Not really. I mean, I just
Watch
did
it.
Yeah, watch the video.
You're making you yawn. I'm sorry I yawned. I've been up really early. I'm sorry, guys. What's the duration for a stock 68 383 Magnum? Thanks for the show. It's a blast.
What is the duration? I have no idea.
Can you get factory cam specs?
Yeah. Just go to what's the site that has all the specs, the engine specs. Just Google that. There's 20 different sites that have the stock specifications on those camshafts. I got like 224 degree duration. It's not a lot.
Yeah, it is getting weird on here now, Zero. Zero says it's getting weird. A message was just deleted from the FBI.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
somebody's hacking it.
Yeah. People being jerks.
that's cool.
That's cool.
But they're having their fun, you know.
Because, I gotta scroll through this stuff. Just saw a
It's not
message
fun for
deleted.
Kathy.
No, it's not fun. It really isn't. I have to sit in the same position for 3 hours. And my neck is up because they're sitting in tall chairs and I'm sitting in a little
Oh,
tiny
yeah.
chair. So I have to hold my neck back because the camera's high. Mama's house trolls her out.
Yeah, my butt's getting tired on this chair.
Crystal's Agent 99 from Get Smart. No, that's my name on Fabo, Agent 99.
Yeah.
Is what?
Agent 99 is
Oh,
my
yeah,
name
oh,
on
oh.
Fabo. Let's
99.
see. You've inspired me to rebuild my 318Y block for my 1958 Suburban. Awesome.
Suburban. Why block?
It's not a Y block. The Ford is a Y block. That's just it's a poly head that you've got. And yeah, they're fantastic motors. And we did a video on them if you go back and you search.
Okay.
All my first engines were Y blocks. The dishwasher engine. My mother got upset about.
Oh, No, what's going on? Why is everybody's messages getting deleted?
Somebody's
Okay,
hacking it.
I don't
That's
know.
cool. The weirdness starts just as we're getting ready to wrap it up. I can't talk anymore.
Gotta talk.
Every Sunday, I mean, we talk for 3 hours straight, it's like
What do you do Monday morning? Just
silence.
Don't
Silence, I don't
It's
talk
the
all day
dome of
Monday.
silence. I come
And
here
usually
like-
most of Sunday I don't talk because I know I have to talk.
Oh, the
It's not-
Kona silence. Yeah.
No, I come here like I'm in monk mode on Monday. I'm just- No talk. I talk more on Sunday nights than I do for the rest of the week.
The whole rest of the
combined.
week.
Agent 99, your inbox is full? Yeah, probably. My message was just deleted. For real, it was me. That just happens here. Yeah, Dickie, you did it or someone else did it? Hard nights talking. Yeah. Good night, John Orr. All right, you ready?
Born ready.
All right. Everybody have a great week.
Yes,
Thanks for coming to hang out with us.
absolutely. Thank you, everybody. Everybody who contributed, thank you very much. That's what keeps the wheels turning
Thank you
here.
to our mods. You guys
Yep.
are awesome. Ari, Zero, Fubar, John, let's see.
And Buff Del Campo, who's our
And Buff Del
live mod.
Campo.
Live mod.
Yeah. And, well, I mean, they're all live, I believe.
Yeah.
But I mean, no,
I
these
can't
are in
mod.
person.
I can't mod anything. I just
That's true. Well, I'd like to think of you as, mod.
Good night, everybody.
Why are you touching my head?
Who's touching your
He's
head?
touching my
that
head.
That sounds
Oh,
terrible.
there's a head over there. See?
This head.
It's beautiful. It's really nice.
All right, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out with us,
Yes,
everyone.
thank you very much.
We appreciate
tomorrow.
it.
We'll see you next Sunday night.
Okay. Good night.
Good night.